What a brisk Sunday morning we have for you from Widener University here outside Chester, Pennsylvania. Hello, everybody. Getting set to go for the CFBALL Championship between the national and American teams. We'll be introducing the players in a little bit. I'm Tom Wilkins along with Joey Pagan, Howard Gabriel on the controls, and down on the field with kicker Justin Sokoloff is Dave Harrison. Dave.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here with kicker Justin Sokoloff from American International. How you doing today, sir?
Great. It's a wonderful day to play football.
Now, you're representing the American team today. In an all-star game situation, what do you hope to accomplish today?
I hope, obviously with me being a kicker, I hope to score some points, help the team win, but for everybody to get a look. Everybody's out here for a showcase, show what they can do, and if they have the talent to get to the next level, to get there.
Beautiful. We're looking forward to seeing you today, man. Appreciate you. Got family out here you want to say hello to?
Yeah. Hey to Tommy, Sierra, my wife Jen, who's taking pictures for us, my dad and my brother in the stands as well.
Beautiful. We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah,
Back
absolutely.
up to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. And make sure you tell everybody to check it out on HSG Network on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Plenty of other good stuff here. If this is a game we've done before, like a few years back out in the Ambler, Fort Washington area, we're glad to be back with these folks today here at Quick Stadium, Hirschman Field, here at Widener University. And Joey, we see these players, and obviously they come from pretty much all corners of the United States here. So to gather for a special game like this, I mean, that's got to be special for everyone involved.
It's always an honor to be selected to an all-star game, and then you want to be able to showcase all your abilities here. It's kind of difficult because I don't know how much practice they had, but you're looking to do the best you can offensively, defensively. So yeah, it's a great honor to be out here today.
And not only that, I mean, you're looking at players. I mean, I kind of looked at some of these. We have one side on the American side, somebody from Washington State. We have others out in Arizona on the opposite side, Louisiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, even a couple Floridas. Indiana. In fact, a friend of mine who lives up in Hammond, Indiana, happens to have a player represent that town. So crazy shots to Kim up there, which is not far from Chicago, by the way. So you're looking really, I mean, it's a special time. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it's an NFL Pro Bowl, but hey, when you have an all-star competition like that, I mean, I wonder what the players are thinking as they head into a game like this.
I mean, you gotta want to get focused and be able to make sure that you're straight, and you always, you like I said, the camaraderie that you build here, you want to take away with you. But I don't, like I said, how much practice they've had. I'm sure that they practiced somewhat. So you're looking to be able to achieve some really good things. Like you said, possibly move up to the next level. So you really want to have an outstanding day today.
All right. So what we're going to do, we're still about 10 minutes from kickoff. So we're going to take a break. We're going to have the audio for CFBALL, the national and the American teams, in a few minutes. So hang tight. We'll be back shortly. All right, thank you again for hanging with us here. We're at Quick Stadium, Hirschman Field here at the campus of Widener University here in Chester, Pennsylvania, not too far from Philadelphia. Glad you can join us here on the HSG Network on YouTube. We have the National and American All-Stars for CFBALL Bowl 2024. A windy 52-degree morning and certainly some good football to be played. Once again, I'm Tom Wilkins, Joey Pagan, Howard Gabriel on the controls. On the sideline, State Patterson, we'll be going down to him at some points during this game. Let's start with Joey as we're about ready to get the coin toss underway. I mean, if you're a player, what's your mindset going into a game like this?
I'm trying to get myself focused because here's where you want to shine, especially them guys who are looking to move up to the next level. So you want to make sure that you are able to produce, and it's so difficult because you really don't have that much camaraderie. You don't have time to get and build a gel together as a team. You got limited practices, so you got to be able to work together, really fast. But it should be really exciting.
All right, why don't we go down to the midfield stripe for the coin toss?
I'm your referees on your umpire. Any questions before we begin? All right, national team, you're the visitors, so you get to call the opening coin toss. All right, the helmet is heads, the football is tails. Tails, heads, the call is tails. It is tails. National team, you've won the toss. You're going to defer, you'll get the ball. What direction do you want to kick? All right. National team, switch back to back side. American team, switch back to back side.
I was trying to look for the paper. I didn't know which way you wanted.
National team, you want the opening coin toss. I would like to very quick.
All right, there you have it, folks. The National All-Stars won the toss. They will choose in the second half, so the American All-Stars will get the ball first to begin proceedings. I'll move left to right, the Nationals right to left, and we'll switch sides during the second quarter. Now, I don't know if you can hear me, Dave, but what's been the mood on the sideline for both sides?
Well, it's funny because for an all-star game, they are all business. Man, I try to bring a little levity to the situation, and they just weren't having it. They said, hey, coach, I appreciate you, but we got to get this thing done. So I ran into one of the scouts that are out here today looking for some talent. He's expecting some big things from a couple of key players today. We'll see how it works out.
I guess Dave almost became the 12th player on one of the sidelines. Somebody would have gotten a 5-yard penalty for that. But thank you very much. That's Dave Harrison. He'll be doing some sideline reporting here for our ball. You heard the microphone of the referee, Stuart Hinman, who will be the arbitrator today. The rest of the refereeing crew, the umpire is Sean Bradley, head line judge Robert Geis, the line judge Tom Work, the field judge James Hayes, the side judge Mike Kearney, and the back judge Jacob Pridemore. So should be fun. The National All-Stars are there led by head coach, if I'm looking for it, Donald Gould. That's that is the American side. The national side is led by the Orlando Predators coach, Marcus Manuel. So that should be fun. Two different coaching styles, and we're gonna get ready to see what's going on. So wind is going to be a bit of a factor, but we're expecting temperatures to go up slightly here in this game, and it is really fall again here in the Northeast. So let's hopefully we have a fun game and an injury-free game. That's the most important thing, especially as we get closer to the holidays, especially for Thursday as well. All right, the referee blows his whistle, and the Nationals, like we said, they're in blue. The Americans are in red with dark blue numerals. Nationals in their blue uniforms with white numerals. And the approach to the tee, and here we go with the CF ball as the ball goes over the head of the returner and into the end zone. That's an automatic touchback. So looks like it'll start 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. So what do you expect to see from both sides in this game, Joey?
Offensively, like I said, they don't have too much time to work out together and get, acquainted with one another and get a rhythm. But, hopefully we'll get some good running plays because most of the time, you start off with some runs. But defensively wise, it's always easier than offensively wise, right? Than the offense because there's more to go on the offense than there is on defense. So I'm looking for the defenses to be more exciting than offense at the moment.
And by the way, the touchback brings the ball to the 25. So we're just going to say last year's NFL rules apply for kickoffs. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the American side at the 25-yard line. They go spread modified here. And a handoff left side, trying to turn the corner, slipping out of a tackle. And that looks like that looked like number 9, Rodney McNeil looks like. Or was it 4, Gerald Hearns? Oh yeah, there it is. Gerald Hearns out of Palm Beach, Florida, who turned the corner, was able to get 3 on the play, so 2nd and 7 coming up. So let's find out what happens here as we see the first couple of plays of this one. This time they're going to line up in a shotgun. They're going to go 4 receivers tripling to right. Back to the left of the quarterback, and now looks like another inside handoff, bouncing off one man to about the 30, and that was Ryan Herrera out of Ozone Park, New York. I don't think it's too far away from you, Dave. What do you think?
Now, that was number 1. That was Taiwan Buckley out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Taiwan Buckley out of Arkansas Baptist College. So he's able to get back for. What have you seen so far on the field, Dave?
Hey, man, I've seen Taiwan Buckley in pregame. This guy is ready to play. He is from Louisiana. He's looking to rep his state today. Look forward to it. From the Louisiana Gators, Swamp Gators.
The Louisiana. Now I know what SG stands for on my thing. And 3rd down, somebody jumped. They go to a screen pass. It goes for a loss. It's not going to matter because the American side ended up jumping, and that's going to end up being a first down for the American side here.
Louisiana Swamp Gators.
So Joey, what have you seen the first couple of plays?
So far, like I said, right, I figured there was going to be a little bit of running to begin this game, offensively wise, until they try to get a little rhythm and maybe try some passing plays. But, for the defense, it's really easy at the moment, right, until we start opening the game up and getting a little deeper. But basically, man coverage, it seems, maybe a cover 2 now, depending on what they're doing. But it looked like it was man and a cover 1, so it's not bad, but looks like it's going to be a little fun today.
All right, so after the offside, it's 1st and 10 for the 37-yard line. They'll go triple right again on the 4-receiver set. Quarterback making sure everyone's in position, and the official said, hold your horses for a second. In other words, they took a little bit too long, Joey, so it's 1st and 15.
I mean, it's probably a little unusual for some of these guys. They're not used to the play clock being out on the field. They're used to, the ref, on the field holding the clock and watching. So maybe they're not paying attention to the clock on the side.
Well, we don't have it on our screen, but there is a play clock next to the score clock, or next to the scoreboard, and then one on the opposite side, too, standing on its own. Now on 1st and 15, back with a lot. Pass, it's intercepted, and I have a feeling we have a condo call coming up. Turning the corner, and yes, indeed, it is a condo call. It's welcome to the end zone for Ryan Herrera. We mentioned Ozone Park, and voila, he gets the first points of this one.
That's Taiwan Buckley.
Oh, that is Buckley.
Buckley from the Swamp Gators.
I thought you were talking about offense or something here. Confusing.
Buckley, he plays for the Swamp Gators. He told me he was going to have a big game.
Well, I think we're going to have to get him in an interview, Dave, as soon as we get this extra point done. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, that pass was very short change, and then Buckley just took it pretty much to the account to pretty much the end zone there. Not even a 30-yard interception, and he kind of knew where to go from there.
Yeah, that kid is special, too, man. A good-humored kid. He's going to say, I'm going to go.
All right, well, I would go get him, but let's get the extra point done first. I thought the communication I thought the uniforms were crossed up. Anyway, it's Jordan Goldberg trying the extra point. Very high snap. Now they can't move, and the kick on its way ends up going wide to the left. That was a low line drive that just missed the post. So for the Nationals, they have a 6-0 lead, and the Americans will get the ball in a second, but meanwhile, Dave is circling the wagons to find Swamp Gator Taiwan Buckley, and
got him on the
you got him.
Told you, The Swamp Gators, the Louisiana Swamp Gators, man.
Yes, sir.
Is that how the Swamp Gators do?
Yes, sir. Hell yeah. He knows from the South.
What'd you see on that play?
Hell, man, my team. Right. See, they just had to play over for me, man. Yeah, so
All right. Oh, yeah, I love that kid.
Dave with a little bit of enthusiasm for a Sunday morning. Who needs coffee?
Yeah, you got Dave Patterson.
What did you see on that play, Joey?
I mean, we didn't get a replay. Maybe for the next touchdown we will. But right here we have, all right, we have what happened was he just pretty much played his zone. I think they were in the cover two. The ball was underthrown, and I saw that he managed to pick it off and run it back for a touchdown.
Well, as they say, trying to look things over, and anticipation on the defense made a big difference there. So we're about 2.5 minutes into this CF ball contest. 6-0 in favor of the national team on that pick six by Buckley. And now let's see what the Americans can do to strike back. All right, still waiting for the official to blow the whistle, and we'll be set to go yet again. By the way, for the kickers, we mentioned, of course, Jordan Goldberg. He'll be the one kicking off for the Nationals. The American kicker, we did the pregame with him, Justin Sokolov. Hopefully we'll get to see him in a little bit. But in the meantime, a much shorter kickoff, which will be taken at about the 10-yard line. Trying to turn the corner to the 20-yard line, and then there's your tackle right there. Well done.
Great coverage by the kicking team there. Getting downfield quickly. Not
what do we have, Dave?
Room.
Number 17 from Brooklyn. That is, Legree, Jeff Legree out of Brooklyn. Very famous quarterback duo, brother group that is out of Brooklyn.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he's number 17. So be on the lookout, man. He's sneaky good.
Okay, so are we talking from the Nationals?
Nationals, blue. I'm on the blue side, yeah.
All right, so it is Legree. So Jeff Legree is 17, you said?
Yes.
All right. Appreciate that update. I'm sure I'm going to have a scorecard filled with a lot of ink as we go along here. All right, on 1st and 10, here's a handoff around the right side. Oh, the national team waiting right there. Probably a 1-yard loss as Gerald Hearns, the running back out of Palm Beach, ends up trying to turn the corner, but too much speed for the Nationals that time, Joey.
Way too much speed there. They are an attacking defense. They're swarming. They're following the ball really well. So it seems like they're prepared defensively. They did their homework, and the scheme they got is working for them at the moment.
Well, forward progress gave them no gain on the play, so it goes to 2nd and 10. Let's see how the Americans line up this time. This time they're switching to triple to the far side here. Back to the right for the quarterback who awaits a snap. Will take it. Rolls right. Little quick lob pass. Nicely caught for a first down.
Number 35.
That is Jackson Jones who was able to bring it in, and that's a first down for the Americans.
Good pass. Came out. He was in the back, but he came out, snuck out. I guess the backer lost sight of him and didn't see him, so was able to complete that pass. Those are good passes to do here in the All-Star game, right? You don't want to do too much small passes, to be able to complete and get a rhythm with the receivers and the offensive line.
Gain of 13 that time. So 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Remember, the passing game is probably going to be short and concise with the wind circling around here. Widener, again, a shotgun. They stack a couple receivers on the right.
The wind's toward their face.
Oh, that's why you have to play short here. Back to pass, and now rolling right, backing up and lobbing, and it ends up going incomplete, and probably just as well. It went the direction of Nicholas LaPointe out of, I believe it was East Syracuse, and he was the nearest one to the ball. The quarterback was out of pocket anyway, so just a simple incompletion.
Right, it was good coverage downfield. So, pretty much, he did the right thing in throwing the ball away and not making a mistake that he did in the first offensive series he had. So.
All right, so I'll force a 2nd and 10. So interesting to see what each team does. Now, we haven't seen the national offense out yet because their score was on defense. Thanks to that pick 6 on the part of Buckley. Now looks like they're going to go spread here back to the right. 2nd and 10 for the 33-yard line. Now they send one of the slot guys in motion, and it looks like
Number 3
and
has the ball.
unfortunately the jet sweep kind of ran out of fuel there, or I don't know if it was a hitch patch or something, but it did not work. That was Baron Jackson Jr. out of Millersville, about maybe close to 2 hours from here, and just couldn't turn the corner into losing some yardage.
No, the defense for the blue team is really great right now. They're attacking. They're real, following the ball well. I mean, there was a little bit of looked like what it was a Jets game. The handoff was just really horrible. I think he didn't give him a chance with that. So hopefully they can fix that up and get a little something going there.
And now make it 3rd and 13 after that 3-yard loss with the nose of the ball at the 30-yard line. We're a little over 5 minutes into this game, 6-0 in favor of the National squad. Nationals are the visiting team, incidentally. Now they're going to smash a little triple on the right side. On 3rd and 13, back to pass. Gonna take a shot down the field. Does he have a guy?
Ooh.
Oh, just one-hopped it. That was a nice try, incomplete. However, we have a flag down. Let's find out what this is about, and it's around the offensive area.
That was a good throw. He should have caught that. Oh, that's big penalty.
Well, Dave, what did you see on that one?
Oh, well, first thing is the wind is coming directly at us, so the quarterback is throwing into a headwind. But even with the headwind, that ball was there. We got to secure that catch. Went right between the arms. The arms just weren't cradled good enough to get the thing done. But with the 15-yard penalty, new set of downs, let's see 7 go back to work.
That's already the second penalty against the National squad, which has resulted in an American first down. And on 3rd and 13, roughing the passer, oh, that's got to hurt.
Definitely got to hurt. That's a mistake that your defense doesn't want to do here and continuing this drive for the national team.
All right, they modify here on 1st and 10 for the 45-yard line. They'll go inside handoff, and not much there, maybe for a yard to the 46-yard line. You can see Trey Wells jumping out of that pile saying, hey, glad I made that stop.
Yeah, great job, Reed. He had his read. He just came up and made a great play on that and not allowing to get any yards, if maybe one at the most. Good defensive play there, though.
Well, they'll give him one, Joey, so it is 2nd and 9 from the 46-yard line. And as Dave had mentioned, obviously you're looking at basically the wind in their face and trying more accurate quarterback fires to the receivers. And, you got to really be careful when you're dealing with that. Another modified thing and a pitch out, moving to the left side, trying to cut the corner. Will cross midfield. They'll have another first down. Oh, goodness gracious. Gerald Hearns is a man possessed here in the first quarter. And
that was a good run.
Definitely was. They're going to spot it at the 41-yard line. That's a 13-yard pickup, and they moved the chains again, Joey.
They did. I'm not sure what happened with the defensive end on that play. I think he might have gotten caught in the wash there. But he got to the outside and just took it upfield right away, which is a great call.
I think, too, Joey, it was a case of the misdirection that kind of threw everybody off.
That was just good blocking, and he ran hard.
Definitely did. Now they're going to go again, 4 receivers tripling to right on 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Quarterback trying to switch his back, and now they're going to look like they're going to modify. Now they got a man in motion. Pitch out.
Oh.
It took a second to that. I'll tell you what, there was really no chance of that play working because of that half-second hesitation. The pitch out was taken by the back, and unfortunately he didn't secure the ball right away, and right there was when the defenders came out and just flattened him for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, both the tackle and the end were just so quickly off the ball.
Let's grab a look, Joey, and see what happened.
I mean, there was a little confusion already from the beginning, as you can see, with the quarterback and the running back, but it seemed like the offensive line really didn't get any good blocks there. Yeah, they pretty much got it.
Defense kind of smelled that play out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a little too slow developing and gave the defense an opportunity to make a play on the ball.
All right, they spread this time. Actually, empty gun here, heavy on the left. 2nd and 12. Back to pass, looking, firing in the middle. It's tipped. Oh, and caught at the 30-yard line. Who designed that Noah Brown play? Except it wasn't a Hail Mary. It's a first down off the deflection.
That's Ryan Herrera.
Good
What,
catch.
what a catch. A gain of 17.
There's your tip drill working at its finest today, huh? Already early in this game for the American team.
I mean, sometimes you get a lucky bounce there, and the Americans definitely got that on that 2nd and 12 and move themselves in the field goal range, we think. 1st and 10 from the 26 of the Nationals.
And that's why those penalties, hurt you even more,
Yeah, go back to roughing the passer. You're right. Chaz Russell, the quarterback for the American team, takes the snap. Gonna take a shot left side, and the nearest defender was a national player, looked to be Brennan Baron out of Waynesburg, and he came close to intercepting it, well underthrown, but luckily for Russell, incomplete. And Dave, what's the wind condition down there?
The wind was not responsible for that one. I don't know where he was throwing it. I can't even know.
Well, let's be fair, it was underthrown, but I mean, obviously we're in a press box and you're in an area where not much is stopping the wind at this point.
Indeed. The wind did not take that one. However, maybe just a miscue, receivers that you're not usually working with. So this might have been a second guessing situation, but I have confidence he'll be back. Number 7 will throw a good ball on this one.
All right, 2nd down. They tripled the right. Now they send a man motion. They keep it spread here in the modified. Pitch out right. Trying to get across. Gets to the 25 and second effort to the 23, maybe the 22 for about 5 yards there.
Definitely a hard runner, this guy. He's really running hard in between the tackles also. He got last time he got a big run, he got up to the outside.
On the good money.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Hearns, he is from, it looks like FA Team America, I think Florida Atlantic University. That's why he says he's from Palm Beach, Florida. Hey, I was just in Florida last week just coming home. So, but anyway, they gave
it. That kid runs hard.
He sure does. And a lot of the players in the South, hard is all they know when it comes to sports, especially football. Yep. So they're going to give him 4, and it's going to be 3rd and 6 from the 23-yard line. Let's see how they line up this time. They're going to go spread, it looks like, with it back to the right. Let's see where Russell gets this time. Away in the snap will take. They fake the handoff. He's going to roll, fire right. Pass caught at about the 10-yard line. That was Nicholas LaPointe.
That was a nice throw.
And that's going to be good enough for a first down. They're going to give him, we're going to see.
Number 8. He's at the 10.
Yeah, they're going to give him the 10, and if that's so, that's going to be 1st and goal.
It looks like it's just outside the 10.
If it's just outside, well.
But they're lining up for 1st and goal. The ball is being spotted in front of the.
And now a timeout going to be called by the national squad. So why don't we go ahead and take a break? 4:35 left here in the first. 6-0 in favor of the Nationals. Let's see if the Americans can get even when we come back.
Welcome to Spiral. With Spiral, you'll network with elite sports, entertainment, and business professionals, create your own digital resume or portfolio, post and apply for job openings, and connect with important people to expand your brand. Whether you're an athlete, a talent scout, a record label, an agent, artist, filmmaker, or own a business, Spiral is here for you. Go Spiral.
Okay, we're back here at Widener. The Americans looking to even things up here in the first quarter. 1st and goal from right at the 10-yard line. 3 wide slot left. They're going to go to fullback, turn the corner, and he gets tripped up down to the 6-yard line. That fullback was Jackson Jones, who was able to bowl his way to about the 6.
Ooh. Good hit by number 27. I mean, you see that whole big load coming at you.
Full tilt, baby.
But, he had to go. The only way he could is go low on him. And it seems like he's a little shaken up himself right now after that.
Well, that would be Amari Manuel made the stop. But for whatever reason, obviously a much cleaner hit compared to what we saw between Colorado and Kansas yesterday.
Yes.
But it's still a 4-yard gain, and it is 2nd and goal from the 6 with just under 4 minutes left here in the first. Play clock running down to about 10. Not used to talking about play clocks, but they're going to go spread here, and we'll see what Russell decides to do. 2 on the play clock. He better hurry up. He just gets it off. Read option going inside. That's Gerald Hearns, who bowls his way to about the 3-yard line. So 3rd and goal from the 3. And Joey, what do you expect to see here on this next play?
I'm thinking they're going to wind up giving them the ball again because defensively wise, I'm not sure what the rules are, but I don't see them bringing in, like an extra D lineman down and pulling out somebody. I think they're going to stay in a 4-man front with the 3 backers, and I don't know if they're limited to blitzing or not, but I would assume on this play here that you can. But
that's a good question. I mean, obviously a different set of rules because it is an all-star game, so you have to have some modifications. And now an official just threw a flag way up in the air. Oh, goodness. That's going to be an illegal sub foul against the Americans. It's going to back them up 5 to the 8-yard line. That is not a penalty you want, especially when you're close.
I mean, you don't want it, but depending on what play you have called here, right? It's just, I always say when they back you up like that, just gives you a little more room to work with offensively. And, gives the defense having to cover more space as opposed to being a short field for them.
So that makes it 3rd and goal from the 8. It was 12 men in the huddle. So let's see how the Americans respond to this. 3 wide slot left. In the shotgun, Russell. Another option. Turn the corner. And no, Hearns is knocked down for about 1-yard loss. I'll tell you what, the Nationals kind of stepped up their game there.
They sure did. And number 1 again on the stop there was great. Just like Dave said, this guy's all over the field right now. He's earning his keep.
Well, it looks like we're going to see the field goal unit run on, Dave.
Huh?
And it looks like we thought there was going to be a score here, but they're going to try a field goal. Now, keep in mind, it's a swirling wind. So could cause some tricks here as the leaves are blowing all the way down to the right side of the field. But it will be Justin Sokoloff out of Marlton. About maybe a 40-minute drive here from Chester. Be a 27-yard field goal left hash. It'll be Hearns to hold.
Wind is going to his right.
All right, here's the snap. Kick on its way. And there's 3 for you.
There it is.
So, hey, we're not going to have a shutout in this game, and that is always nice to see. So, for Sokoloff, that's a 27-yard field goal, and that makes it 6-3 in favor of the Nationals. Now, let's go down to you, Dave, for a second. On that drive, what did you see going on?
Oh, man. Sticking to the run, it's a mix-up of number 35 and number 4. So you got Hearns and you got
Jackson Jones.
The alternating of the 2, inside, outside, it was a good mix. Coordinator gets his kudos for mixing it up. We had some passes that connected. As soon as number 7 threw that errant ball, came back the next play, threw a great ball to number 8. I think it's Nicholas LaPointe. That set up the first down, which got us into the red zone. And we got some points as a result. And we spoke to the kicker before the game, and he said he was ready. I say he had a good 1.5 foot to his left side in terms of space. Good spacing in. Let's go. Kickoff time.
All right. And Joey, how about you?
I mean, they tried to run the ball. They were successful in different parts of the field, but like I said, when you get that close to the red zone, it's different. There's less room to cover, and so many plays you can call. But here we got the kickoff.
And finally, the Nationals will receive the ball unless something crazy happens. Taken by the up man about the 30-yard line. He's going to try and make a right-hand turn, go to about the 40, and get down there. That was Said Bazile, who was able to return to maybe the 41. So with 1:37 left in the first, the Nationals will get on offense for the very first time. What do you expect to see from them, Joey?
Well, we see we got our guy out there, number 1 already, on offense also. So maybe, he's one of those guys that they got to go to on a regular.
Sounds like a Sanders individual we know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dave, question for you here. Now we're seeing the Nationals offense for the first time. What are you anticipating?
Oh, that's a good question. So we got Legria at quarterback. He's the one wearing the Hurricane helmet. I'm expecting him to put on a show today. Not just because I'm a New York City guy, but because I've seen this guy play, and this is what he does. We have Buckley number 1 with the Gators helmet. He already has a touchdown on defense. Maybe we get a little bit of Colorado action like we saw yesterday with
Well,
Travis Hunter.
Unfortunately, there was only a yard on that first play, so it'll be 2nd and 9. I think the American team defense, and I think they're probably going to show some speed as well and try and close the holes, as they say.
I believe so too, right? I mean, once again, you want to see what the offense comes up with. The simplest things to do are call those quick runs and the read options. But let's see if he decides to pass here.
Well, they're going to spread here, and it's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 43. Legree will take the snap, looks back, fires right, pass juggle, that incomplete. And that was in the direction of a Marcus Manuel Jr. out of Orlando. Just couldn't secure the ball and then got hit. So that was totally legal there. So 3rd and 9.
Right. So now, now offensively, now you got to almost pass the ball here. So, you want to going to come up with something really good. Defensively wise, I guess, you can, once again, we don't know if there's blitzing allowed here. We didn't get a hold of the rules prior to kickoff.
Well, obviously, you can't block a field goal. I'll tell you that much.
Right. We knew we can see that. But so I'm not sure if those are any of the rules that you can, whether you can blitz a linebacker or not.
All right, so 52 seconds left here in the first quarter, and it is 3rd and 9 for the 43-yard line for the national team. Up 6-3 thanks to Buckley's pick 6 early part of this game. They line up spread, modify for Legree, who wasn't ready for the snap, and somehow it bounced to the running back. I don't know if they practiced that play, and it ends up going to Chuck Anuoha out of Stroudsburg, and he's still somehow able to get something positive out of it for another 3 yards.
He did manage to get something out of it, which was a good thing, and I guess we're going to see the punter. Maybe not.
Well, they don't have to run another play before the quarter ends. They just switch sides.
Right.
I mean, obviously, they've only had 3 plays of offense in the first quarter, but it'll be an interesting decision for them to make. Right now, they may not have a punter on the field, but they may also try and fake their way in as it is 4th and 6. Clock is running down. 3, 2, 1, and they will get it off and go for it. Legree's going to take a shot, and he's got it open, and it is caught at the 20, the 10, and down to about the 4.
Didn't I tell you?
Great job.
I'm
walking all the way down here. So
listen,
we're go back anyway.
I'll put it to you this way. The only bad thing about this, they have 90 yards to walk to the other end to switch sides.
Right.
So let's grab a break as we are at quarter time. The Nationals lead 6-3 over the Americans. We'll have 1st and goal for the Nationals after this break. Okay, we are back here, 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. And it's a fake by Legree, and he welcomes himself into the end zone.
I told you.
Well, that's what happens. You go for it 4th and 6 in your own territory, gain 50 yards, and Legree does the rest.
Did I tell you?
I don't know if you told me or not, but it happened. But still, first 6 seconds in, Nationals extend their lead on a 5-yard touchdown run by Jeff Legree.
Where you going, nephew?
What do you think, Joey, about that one?
Listen, Dave called it. He did say Legree was gonna take control of this game.
Let me know. I got the dude here.
And he was able to run that uphill really well, and I've seen him do it many of times and over the years.
4th and 6, even?
Let's go down.
All right, here we go with the extra point. Wait the snap, kick on its way, and that will make it 13-3 as the kick goes through. Just 6 seconds into the second quarter. All right, Dave, what you got, Jeff?
Of course I got Jeff Legree out here. I done told you everything is good because I got Jeff Legree out here 4th and 6. I'm not going to say anybody about the booth, but they were saying punter, and I'm like, you got Jeff Legree. Why are you punting?
We're going for it, coach.
There you go. What you
We're
see
going
down
for it,
there?
coach. Thank you, Mr. Official. Like like how y'all told us from Brooklyn, Harlem, RP Coach D, Gators, from Hamilton. Just how we raise. Take what the defense give us. You don't gotta do too much.
Beautiful. Inside the 5-yard line, that's your time. You know how to get to the end zone, right?
Man, the 30-yard line is my time.
Beautiful. We got another one in our next drive?
We're gonna work and we're gonna take what the defense give us.
Gotcha. Jeff Legree, you heard it here first. I told you 17. I done told you. I told you.
Well, I think we better trust you a little bit more, Dave. You know.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, only took 5 plays, 5 plays, 59 yards, but still, Legree the 5-yard touchdown run to open the second quarter, and that's why the national squad has a 10-point lead. Now, Joey, how do you think the Americans will respond back to this?
I mean, I think they got to go back to what's been working for them with the run and try to get that running game established. They had a couple of good passes, short passes, which were good. So they may want to go look back to that with the back out the backfield and stuff like that, or the tight end coming out. But that's where they need to get. I mean, it's only one possession at the moment. They're okay. They're not too bad right now. Just stick to what works and continue working on building on that.
And now they've switched sides. I think we might see a little bit more on the passing side for the Americans, since the wind will probably be a little bit more at their back.
Right. Let's see. It looks like the ball almost fell off the tee there. No,
well, Jordan Goldberg just readjusting to make sure. Notice he's a barefoot kicker.
That's right. He is a barefoot kicker.
Yeah. The old days of Tony Franklin. And here's a high kick that'll be taken at about the 5-yard line. Let's see how this goes. Bouncing to about the 20. Oh, that's some nice coverage again. That's Buckley. That was Buckley. And now a flag goes down right at the end of the play. So let's wait and see what happens with this one.
It's Buckley again. I told you.
Well, we'll see what the officials tell us.
Let's see what the front. Oh, wow.
All right, so a blindside block, which will be half the distance to the goal from where it happened. The flag came pretty late, but in a way, it happened, I think, at the end of the play. So, in essence, just half the distance, almost the equivalent to an illegal block in the back. So, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Americans deep at their own 10. So, do we see a mixture, Joey, of run and pass again?
I'm almost certain that that's what they're going to go back to, because, I mean, they had really good success with running the ball. So, they should continue to do that and then try to mix up in a pass with a little play action. But get that run game established. They got a pretty decent run game going, so...
All right, so 1st and 10, ball spotted right at the 10-yard line. They're going to go empty gun here with Russell. They go heavy at the right, back the pass, takes a middle lob, pass caught. A little hesitation that time by Xavier Vinny out of UMass Amherst, the main Amherst campus, and he was able to get a couple yards. He's out of Fall River up in New England, so got about 3 on the play, so 2nd and 7.
I mean, just pretty much it's almost as good as a run right now, right? You got 3 yards, a quick pass right off the line of scrimmage. You hope that he can make 1 or 2 guys miss and get a few yards, which is what he did. He got about 3 yards out of that. So it's not a bad call. Not a bad call. Slow down the defensive line, hopefully, and, prevents them from getting a good rush there.
Yeah, you got to get some positive yardage, whatever they look at. They're going to go empty gun. It looks like they're going to go empty gun again. Now they're going to switch the heavy side to the near side. And now Chaz Russell calling the signals here, taking the snap. Nearly slips and is smoked down at about the 5-yard line. What was that? Mack truck going through that line.
Sheesh.
What'd you see there? It looked like Trey Wells just flattened him. What'd you see, Dave?
Yeah, I didn't get the license plate number exactly, but yeah, that was a truck coming through, and it looked like it could have been a fumble on that one too, so be mindful.
Well, mind you, Trey Wells, 6'5", 310. I think Russ is going to be feeling it a little bit after this one. But it ends up being an 8-yard loss all the way back to the 5, so now it'll be 3rd and 15 for the American squad. trying to plot their next move. They were able to have a very nice drive the last time, but the Nationals were able to respond very quickly. Let's see what happens. They go back to spread, back to the left. Russell standing on just shy of the goal line. They're going to go with a handoff.
Oh.
And he'll blast his way to about the 10. May not have been a bad call only because you want to give the punter a little bit more room to maneuver. You think that, Joey?
I think so, too. I think that was a good call just to make some space for the punter to come out and punt. But the national team got caught in the stunt just there. I mean, I think if he doesn't trip, he might have gotten a few more yards. But they got caught in a stunt where it just left the hole wide open.
And that was probably the whole intention of the American, to make sure you got 3rd and long deep in your own territory. You don't want to make a mistake giving up minimum 2, maximum 6, maybe more. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Right.
Uh-oh.
We got the
Watch for
sun
the
is trying to
return
peek
here.
through
There's no
here
rush,
now, too, this
but
afternoon.
there is dangerous return, guys.
Standing about the 44-yard line, taking the snap, and he realized he wasn't supposed to rush the punter, so he stopped, and the punter, the returner, who is Jamari Garner, he looked to pick the ball up, but an American player cut him off at the last second. That might have been a blessing for him, because if he drops it, then all heck breaks loose.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he would have tried to pick that up, you'd never know. He could have gotten hit really bad and dropped the ball there. So, now we got the National coming back out on offense.
All right. Well, the Nationals will be be in incredible field position. They're in plus territory to start the American 43-yard line, 1st and 10, and Mr. Jeff Legree back at the helm. And he will operate a spread back to the right. Let's see what they do, 1st and 10. Calls the signals. Takes a snap. They go with a handoff up the middle to the 40-yard line, maybe to the 38. Looks like Austin Butler out of Snellville, Georgia. And he's able to get about 6 on that one.
We got a tempo offense going up here. We got some comments going up top, too.
Well, you are correct. They're not letting the Americans substitute here. So 2nd and 4. Same formation as before. See what Legree does. Another handoff. Same guy. 1st down to the 30-yard line. Austin Butler from the Cherokee County Bruins. And he's able to get another few yards to move the change, Joey.
And we got number 56 who just got that big sack from earlier. He's playing tackle now on the offensive side of the ball.
There are several people, Joey, playing on both sides of the ball.
And he's getting some really good blocks there.
All right, same formation. 1st and 10 from the 30. Gonna take a shot. He has an open man caught the 10-yard line. Spin.
Great move.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised there wasn't a taunting foul on that. But it's welcome to the end zone. A 30-yard touchdown. Obviously, we're gonna interview that guy.
What?
What'd you see, Joey, on that one?
I mean, it was great. It was a good pass to the outside. He was able to get free. And he managed to catch the ball and turn and get a good spin on that. Hit the juke move and then get back into the end zone.
Ooh, that was
great.
I mean, you talk about being faked up in the booth. I'm like, whoa. I was like, if he makes a spin move, that's it. And he did. And what else can I say there? All right, coming off of the extra point, Goldberg holding on to play, Brendan Boren. And Dave's going to seek out the man who just scored the touchdown in just a moment.
I got him.
All right, we'll do it in a moment. Here comes the snap. Kick on its way. And that will make it 20-3 in favor of the national team. Dave, what about the guy who just pulled that fake move for a score?
Well, that guy is Marcus Manuel Jr., and apparently he is him because after catching that
well, I'll tell you what. Let's
tell us about it.
The time you get out, man. I'm from Florida, man, so you know.
So he brought back the pass. There must have been a miscommunication
Oh, that's
there
so
where
now. Proud on
the
that.
safety stayed out deep, but the corner just stepped up. So that's what allowed him to be so wide open.
Now, when you get back out there, TV's going to want some feedback. So, next move.
It's going to be blurred, like we said, brother. We're going to tie it.
What's the next operation?
All right, so obviously that was quite the That was quite the play. And Joey, I don't know if you may want to repeat what you said. We may have had a little bit of cross up in
Right,
communication there.
I get that we were just going live on the sideline there. Well, what happened was the corner assumed that he was going to be a run play or some sort of screen and stepped up and left the receiver wide open. And he was able to get up. Dave Legree really, realized that really quickly, threw a good pass and was able to complete it. And then the gentleman made a nice spin move to get into the end zone. So pretty much that was it from what I saw.
All right, so with the Nationals up now 20-3, and I'll tell you what, Legree is a touchdown run and a touchdown pass. He's been putting on a show, especially in the last 5 minutes of this game. That 50-yard pass, of course, to Brown. So needless to say, it's been a show.
He is definitely putting in his bid for an MVP vote. Yes.
Well, let's also not forget. I mean, they've only had the ball for 5 minutes. They've got 20 points, keeping in mind come on defense in the first couple minutes of the game.
Right.
All right, approaching the tee is Goldberg, and he kicks it away, far side, one hop, and taking it at the 5-yard line. He'll try and make a left-hand turn. He'll get close to the 20-yard line. He's being pursued and goes down about the 22-yard line. Both were in the process of the tackle while they were in bounds, and they let him out of bounds, so no penalty on the play.
Good coverage by the kicking team, though. Not giving them too good of a field position. It's not that bad, but it was a good job by the recovery team there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're going to spot at the 24, so got a pretty good spot there. So the Americans will try it again, 1st and 10.
Copy. Okay, no problem.
Right. Well, once again, this national team defensive line is pretty good. They're doing their job. So, they're able to get pressure without having to blitz. Like I said, maybe at halftime we'll get some of that stuff up here, some of that information. So.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. They're going to go 3 wide slot left. And now they're going to try bounce off a handoff. Slipped out of one tackle, but not the second. Desmond Barnes out of North Carolina Wesleyan and hailing from Rocky Mount down 95. He was able to make the stop for a 1-yard loss.
Good job by the tackle in the end, being able to just, not go for too many fakes and be able to get him right there in the backfield. So now it's, 2nd down and I think maybe 10 or maybe no.
It was a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, it was a 1-yard loss. So.
All right, so here we go with 2nd and 11 from the 23-yard line. Quarterback Chaz Russell waiting a shotgun snap. Quick screen right. Pass caught for a little bit of yardage down to the 27-yard line. So about 4 on the play, and it forces a 3rd and 7.
Right. It's a much better play now, that he was able to complete that short pass. Once again, you want to be able to get that rhythm going with your receivers and stuff like that. So, and those passes are good for, 3 to 4 yards. It's just as good as a run. So, if that's what they're going to give you, if that's what the defense is going to give you, then you should take it a couple of times and then go for the big strike, or at least go to make the 1st down.
So that forces a 3rd and 7. Ball spot at the 27-yard line. So under 9 minutes left till halftime. Sun is peeking through here at Widener University. Now let's see what the Americans do. They're going to go modified and looks like a spread here on 3rd and 7. Pretty big play for Russell here. Takes the snap. They're going to go to run play, trying to make a left-hand turn, then trying to reverse direction, but Desmond Barnes is saying he's not having any of it. And that's a big loss on the play. And I'll tell you, the national attack sounds like the Redskins in 91 with their national defense.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever adjustments the national team did was making, made great adjustments. They're no longer able to get that running game.
Hey, Dave, what did you see on that play?
Right now, he's really, as soon as it went outside with the run, now he's starting to really re-exert his dominance on the thing. So 90 definitely is getting through and making his presence known.
Definitely on that last drive. Thank you very much, Dave, for that. And now the Americans will punt with the punter standing at the 5-yard line. The returner back at about the 38, takes the snap. Again, there's no rush. And it's going to be returnable, 44-yard line. That's going to be Patrick Corcoran Evans, and he makes a turn, and he'll go to about the 46-yard line. That ball was fumbled and recovered by Amari Manuel, who had the presence of mind to force it over to the 45-yard line. So 2 players combined on an 11-yard return.
Great job. They had the presence of mind to be there and just, pick it up and run with the ball. So he was lucky.
I don't know if he was looking at the Tyler Guyton video on the right way and the wrong way to do it, but it worked positively for the national squad, and they scored the American 45, 1st and 10. What do you think the American defense needs to do to slow down Legree and company?
I mean, we need to get a rush. And once again, like I said, we're not sure how they're going to get that pressure, but I know they have a 3-man front. Now they went to a 4-man front, so they switching the defense up a little bit. They got actually 5 guys on the line of scrimmage, but I'm assuming that we're covering here, so.
And most of the time you normally see a spread formation, as you will here. 1st and 10 from the 45. And hold everything. We got flags down. So that's your false start on the. Not sure what the other explanation was, but it's a 5-yard penalty, and it's 1st and 15. So, a timeout is also called. So let's grab a break. Just under 7 minutes till halftime. Nationals lead the Americans 20-3. We'll come back in just a moment.
The Boys and Girls Club, they exposed me to hope and to love and opportunities.
I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't because of the Boys and Girls Club.
It takes a village to raise a child, and for me, the village was that Boys and Girls Club.
There's so many young people that are in our communities that think no one cares about them, but we really do.
If we all get together, we definitely can make a difference.
Join at bgcalum.org.
Oh,
okay, we are back following the timeout, as is 1st and 15 now for the national team. They're up 20-3. They just called their second timeout of the half, so they're down to 1. Ball be spotted at the midfield stripe, but for Legree and company, it's no big deal with the way they've been running their offense. So here we go, 1st down. They're going to go with the handoff.
Nice.
Look at it, just like that. Crossing the 30 and gets tripped up at about the 20-yard line. Jamari Garner. And then there's a flag down toward the end of the play. Let's see what this is about.
Let that rock.
Okay.
Well, it's still going to be a 1st down for the national team. The block in the back happened. The 10-yard penalty would put them back past the line. Right, they would have been past the line gain anyway with that 10-yard penalty. So the ball be spotted at the 32-yard line. So it was a 28-yard gain. They lose 10 on the block in the back, and it is 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Great job by the running back. Good vision there to cut back inside and be able to take the ball upfield. We back to offense now.
And that obviously did not look very pretty. All right, so by the way, we want to mention to everybody, of course, if you go to HSG Network on YouTube, if you're watching our feed, there's a comment board. Please feel free to represent what you're watching, who you're rooting for, and might be a relative of yours that's playing in this game. So please feel free to shout yourself out. We see Brian up there. We see a couple others as well. We'll be airing them as well as we go about. All right, 1st and 15 following the false start. Legree will hand it up the middle. Once again, it's Garner, but this time not as successful. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage at 32 and still pick up 5.
Not a bad call. You got back to the line of scrimmage. It is 2nd and 10. I mean, it's not, it's not like a manageable 2nd and 10, but, still, you got back a good amount of yards. so that now, at 2nd and 10, your playbook is still open. You can do what you need to do, whether if you want to run the ball or not. So, yes.
The Peach State Cats. So the blue team is from the south and the red team is from the north. That is actually a mixture. We have a mixture of players from a lot of states, East and West Coast, that are on both teams.
Was it Tamatoa Titans?
There you go again, Dave. All right, on a play fake, here's Legree on 2nd and 10, and he's just going to throw a lob pass, hoping LeBron can catch and dunk, but that didn't work. It goes incomplete. Just to answer your question for Peach State, we have players from the American team that represent Tennessee, Florida, Indiana, South Carolina, even Bellevue, Washington is on the American team. The national team, the national team representing Louisiana, Arizona, Georgia, Massachusetts. Got a couple people from Arizona. Florida's even on there. So plenty of players from the same state on both sides of the ledger here. So we're not dealing north and south here.
Yes, he has no cleats on. He's a barefooted kicker.
I grew up watching Tony Franklin of the Eagles, and he was barefoot.
Yep.
Remember, he kicked a 59-yard field goal one time on Monday Night Football. So, anyway, 3rd and 10 from the 32-yard line as let's see what goes here. As Legree in the shotgun. Let's see what he does. Back to pass. Looking.
Nice.
Going to take a shot on the left. And that pass. And a collision where everybody gets involved. The football, the defender, the receiver all collide. And it falls incomplete.
Wow.
How about that simultaneous collision?
It was good. It was a good defense there. He did have 4 defenders around him, and it was a pretty good ball too. I mean, but got lucky that no one else got the ball. It was a good hit there though by the defense.
And good stand by the American team.
Yeah, this is what they needed. It's 4th down and 10 now, so.
All right, so let's see what goes. 4th and 10, ball spot at the American 32-yard line. Of course, they're going to go for it. I don't think they're going to ask Goldberg to kick a 50-yarder in these conditions, especially with the wind not at his back. Let's see what Legree does. 4th and 10, takes a snap. Looking, rolling, going to throw up the middle, a little bit wide, incomplete. And I think they were intending it for Buckley, but it was a little bit off course. And the Nationals turnover on down. So a break for the Americans. A good job by that defense stepping up.
Good job by the defense this time now, holding their own and coming up, with a few different adjustments. I think they're staying in man now rather than being in the zone. And much better. Better play by the defensive line, too. So, I mean, Dave had he had good, Legree had a good time, good enough time there to pass. But, there was just not enough room for him to get the ball in there.
All right, so the Americans catch a break, and I'll tell you what, that's got to be a positive for them after that barrage that took place earlier in the quarter. Right now, quarterback Chaz Russell. He'll have it at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. They're going to triple the right side. Now here's Russell. He's going to roll right, throw in the middle. Pass caught on a slide down, and I think he just gave himself up. Ball spot at the 34, so a couple yard gain. So, hey, take whatever positive you can.
Right. And once again, just take what the defense is giving you right now. You got 4 minutes left. Still time to be able to get into the end zone and cut into the lead. So, you can still do what you want here offensively. There's no need to take a big shot, but at some point you're going to want to get downfield and take that shot. So we have to see when you decide to do that.
2nd and 8 from the 34-yard line. They do triple to left. It's going to be modified this time. They play fake, roll left. Here comes the cavalry, throwing right, and it ends up going incomplete. Now, the nearest player that time was Xavier Vinny. I'm guessing he was the ball intended, but I think after the rush by a national defense, Russell had no choice but to get rid of it.
Yeah, it was a good pass. I mean, he tried his best. Not a good pass. He was rolling back, so he had a lot of pressure on him on that moment. So, it's still one of those things. Like the defense for the National right now is starting to turn it up also. So not that they weren't from the very beginning, but they're doing a much better job now getting pressure.
Well, you also got to remember too that when both teams get the first few plays off, they're trying to feel each other out, and then there's some point that goes on late second quarter, maybe in the third quarter, when all of a sudden they start firing.
Right. So hopefully we'll see some of that in the second half. But right now, they need to get some offensive going here.
Play fake, and now a deep ball right side. Does he have a man? No, it's overthrown in double coverage, incomplete. They went for Tav Thomas, who is up the road in Philly. Tav actually part of Team America and the Wilmington Wolfpack. He was the intended receiver that time. Didn't quite work out, so now the Americans have to punt. So I think for the national squad to hold the Americans 3.5 after turning the ball over on downs, I think that was very important for them, Joe.
Right. I mean, it was a like I said, he didn't know when he was going to take his shot, but on third down, now you're trying to take a shot way downfield. I think he should have just been a little more mid-range, try to get the first down as opposed to going all the way forward. But I guess coaches do different things. All right.
High returner standing at about the 25-yard line. They want to make sure each side has 11, especially on the Americans. Now, all right, now they send a last-minute substitution. That would be Lamar Johnson Sr., and now evidently something going on here. All right, this is what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to reset to 4:12. We are evidently having a little issue, but 4:12 left in the half. So stay tuned, because after this play, we're going to give you something a little bit different, a little bit of a different feel of the game. So hang in there for a second, folks, as we're about ready to have the punt. Here's the snap. A high pop-up, which will be taken at about the 32-yard line. Slipping to about the 40-yard line. I thought it was going to be about it, but they got a few more yards to the 44. And that was Jamari Gardner out of York, Pennsylvania, incidentally. So a nice return by Gardner, and the Nationals are going to get the ball. Now, this is what we're going to do. A little bit of a different feel of this game here. We are going to get offensive play calls from national team coach Marcus Manuel, who, by the way, is part of the Arena Football League's Orlando Predators.
Yeah, come on. Stay here, though. Stay here.
So you got here in the background the coach calling the plays. So let's see what the Nationals decide to do. 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. They're going to change it up and triple the right side this time. Now they send a man in motion. LeGree with the wind in his face. Probably not a promise to go spread. Up!
10 years?
5. Ball sit down with 40. First down at another 15.
All right, let's go, baby. We got it, coach. So look, we got it right here. We got it. Right, okay. And then
Well, that was one of the more obvious false starts that we have seen in a while, but it ends up being 1st and 15 for the 40-yard line. LeGree in the shotgun, back in the spread with back to the right. LeGree takes it, throws quick, pass caught back at the original line of scrimmage and down to about the 46-yard line. That was number 16, Marcus Manuel Jr.
Jump.
Some of those middle yards back and another 5 on top.
So looks like they're going to go tempo here on this second down.
Next play. All right.
Ends up being a 9-yard pickup.
And let's go. We on you, Jeff. Let's go, brother. You're a quarterback. Let's go, baby. Crazy down. Let's work, Jeff.
And now LeGree calls his own number and drops down for maybe about 2. Now to the American 49. Let's see what a coach calls here on 3rd down.
I heard crazy dive.
Crazy down.
Crazy down.
That was more of a crazy backside drop.
We got crazy down coming up right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be something real sexy.
Real safe.
Be
All right,
confirmed.
let's see.
That is sexy.
Oh, yeah, good enough.
Sexy.
It's going to be good enough for a first down to the 44-yard line. That was Devon Hewitt Jr. out of Ben Salem, who was able to make the move and get a 5-yard pickup and move the chains.
Good job by the Nationals offensive line there with blocking, you know. He managed to get to the outside really quick. So that was
Okay,
good.
I got you. All right, look.
On the right hash.
What time? Okay, 2:30. We good.
17.
Let's go.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Legree,
Oh, yeah.
another handoff up the
yeah.
middle, crossing the
Let's
40
go.
to the 38-yard line. Looks like Austin Butler.
Get
The gun was number 12, Austin Butler.
get 35. 35.
Coach is working on this thing, man.
Twins Tampa. Twins Tampa.
Hey, come back.
No!
No!
There you go. Twins Tampa up here. You want to see what you
Whistle.
Oh.
Timeout.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and go into the huddle after this timeout.
Everybody right here.
Let's listen to this.
Relax. I don't want to get him the ball back. I don't want to get him the ball back this half. So let's be methodical. Take our time. All right. Hey, let's go. Listen. Let's go crazy down. Crazy down. Y'all got the work they need? All right. Crazy down. Who is my back? All right. Hey.
One quick question. Can we run it? They in the 30 front. You want me to lead the half?
Yeah. Let's go from the line.
got that?
Well, you just heard a little bit of an inside huddle. I believe 2-minute warning here at Widener University. Nationals up 20-3, and obviously from how it sounds, Joey, their objective is to score and not give the Americans any time left on the clock. On top of which, the Nationals get the ball to start the second half.
Right.
Okay, on 2nd and 4, they go handoff. Not too much there as Butler
Gives the number 12.
gets to about the 436.
Call it. Yeah, we good. Okay. Hey, jump.
Senior.
Okay. Yep.
You guys seeing this?
He played for me. I know. He played for me. He already know.
All right, so now they're going to go back to spread here, 3rd and 2.
Next
Line
play,
against is
go in
34,
for the
ball to
quarterback.
36.
I want you in for 32.
Legree, let's see what he does.
Go to bat. Money.
A handoff, runs into a man. They're going to lose a couple yards. So the Americans take advantage of that situation and forces a 4th down. Consider this. We're approaching a minute till halftime. The national squad has 1 timeout left. The Americans have all 3.
All over.
Stay tight.
12.
Stay tight.
I'm actually a little surprised the American side didn't call a timeout.
First down. Now it's 4th down and long 3.
15. Hey, let's go. Look at the clock.
All right, so we'll find out what the decision is here on 4th and 3. Ball to 37-yard line. Legree, he'll wait the snap. Takes it, rolls left, running. He's got a shot. That's low, incomplete.
Incomplete. That's a turnover on that.
And it ends up the Nationals turn the ball over on downs for a 2nd straight possession. And now the Americans have a chance to get some points here with 29 seconds till halftime. So, Joey, what are your thoughts there?
It was a good defense. I mean, he rolled left. He looked like he was off balance, when he threw that ball. He didn't have enough leg underneath him to be able to complete the pass. But, good defense by the American team there, holding them off on 4th down. Now you got to assume that we're going to try to take a shot downfield here, So, now there's no methodical. You got 28 seconds, 1 timeout. I would assume, try to get something in field goal range and then maybe go for a field goal.
Actually, you have all 3 timeouts left.
Oh, okay, so even better.
I got something interesting if you come down to me later.
Here's a handoff left side, trying to turn the corner and pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It stops the clock at 23 seconds.
6 is there. 1 is there.
So, Dave, you say you had something interesting?
I got something really interesting.
Well, tell us.
Oh, so in the huddle, it seems like Coach Manuel and Jeff Legree can literally call a game without even speaking out loud to one another. A lot of head nodding. You know what to do. They with each other before. So that's why you might not actually hear the specific play call, because whatever the instance is, they've come up with it before and they know exactly what the play call is. Absolutely amazing. They're on the same page.
It's called football sign language.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, let's see what they come up with now. This American team, once again, they opted to run the ball real quick, but doesn't mean that they won't try that again.
Well, he lost 2 on the first play. Here's a play fake, trying to get out of harm's way, and unfortunately brought down by Desmond Barnes, who's been a force here in the second quarter, and they might just let the clock run out at this particular point.
I would say so. I mean, nope. Here's your first.
Wait a minute.
Gotcha.
Clock stops with 8 seconds left. So,
is it the head coach, the one that was with the red hat?
All right, so the Americans will call a timeout with 8 seconds left. I guess they're going to try and devise a play. I mean, what do you think they're going to be talking about, Joey?
Listen, I'm with 2 timeouts left. You do, I believe, have time to get downfield, and get one pass off, and then possibly call a quick timeout and maybe set up a long field goal. But it's still tough. It's not easy.
Cool.
I mean, I think it's going to be rather interesting to see how they come out with. I mean, remember, it took about a quarter or so to kind of feel things out, a little bit longer, because remember, the national team did not get the ball until about a minute and a half left in the first quarter, and they've been pretty much a juggernaut ever since. So I think the Americans plan to keep the Nationals away from the football. It worked for a little bit, but then once the Nationals get going, you kind of know what the end results.
You kind of know, yeah, exactly. So right now here I'm just defending the goal line, the end zone. Got 2 guys deep, so.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and long.
Oh, he took a knee.
Yeah, they decided to just go with a halftime formation and take a knee. So, what'd you think about this first half, Joey?
A lot more interesting than what I thought it was going to be. So, the American needs to do a lot more on offense. Hopefully, they can make some better adjustments for the second half. Here.
Well, I think right before we take the halftime break, let's get Dave down for Coach Marcus Manuel for the Nationals. Dave.
I'm with Coach Gould right now. It's HSG Network up there. Hey, I'm here with Coach Gould from the American side. Hey, what are some of the good things that have happened this half?
I wish I could tell you. We've got a lot of work that's got to be done. We got a lot of guys playing out of position, so we're trying to get them all worked in together, and hopefully better things the second half.
All right, still working that. One last question before you head on in. If one thing goes absolutely right for you in the second half that's going to be the key to a comeback, what would it be? What are we looking out for?
Probably get our inside running game off.
Inside run game. You hear it first. Thank you, Coach Gould.
All right.
You heard it from Coach Gould first. Inside running game. They're going to establish it real quick. Let's do it.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dave. We're going to go at halftime break. That was head coach Donald Gould of the American side. Halftime score, the Nationals 20, the Americans 3. As we look at halftime, some Brandywine highlights for you. We'll come back in a little bit for the second half.
Hagley is where the DuPont legacy begins in the Brandywine Valley. What makes this place so special is this is where the DuPont family planted their roots for all of the other DuPont estates and gardens that we know today in the Brandywine Valley. Here, their company got their start and they manufactured black gunpowder for over 120 years. Hagley being an indoor and outdoor museum, visitors can actually be part of history as they walk along the Brandywine Most Beautiful Mile. They can see mill remnants, they can see a working 16-ton roll mill, a machine shop powered by water with drills and lathes where machine parts would have been repaired. History here at Hagley Museum.
We are at Longwood Gardens, which is a jewel of Chester County. It's one of the most publicly visited gardens in the world. Longwood was founded in 1906 when Pierre Samuel DuPont stepped in to purchase an arboretum that was going to be cut for the lumber. And in this act of preservation, he bought the original 202 acres, that is Longwood Gardens, and began building a garden like no other. The Brandywine Valley is so fortunate to have the DuPont legacy as part of our history. We refer to the DuPonts sort of as the first family of horticulture here in the Brandywine Valley because they left us so many tremendous estates and gardens for the public to enjoy now. This region is America's garden capital, and the DuPont estates are core to that.
Welcome to Mount Cuba Center. It's a spectacular hidden gem in the Brandywine Valley, which is part of America's garden capital. This property was purchased in the 1930s by Pamela and Lamont DuPont Copeland, and that's the DuPont connection here. Lamont DuPont Copeland was the head of the DuPont company for a number of years, and this is where he decided to build his home. All the DuPont estates have something incredible to offer to their guests. What sets Mount Cuba apart is native plants. We're all here for the love of native plants and practicing ecological gardening and sharing it with our guests so they can do it at home as well.
We are at Nemours Estate, which is the home of Alfred I. DuPont. It was built in 1910. It is 200 acres of stunning gardens and grounds, 77-room mansion, chauffeur's garage, and it's really just an infinitely Instagrammable place. This was the home of Alfred I. DuPont. This really was a family home. It is large, but at the same time, he lived here for a number of years with his family. He was a prominent figure in the DuPont gunpowder business, but of particular note is his legacy of philanthropy. There are so many details and surprises that are just fun to find out and watch guests respond to, whether it's the bowling alley in the basement, the game rooms. You get to see where they worked, where they entertained. Really, there's different pieces of the story that can really appeal to everyone, and that's really exciting to share.
We are at Widener Museum, Garden and Library. This is the former home of Henry Francis DuPont and 3 generations of DuPonts before him. There's so much history here, not just with the DuPont family, but also with all of the staff who lived on the grounds. And then you layer onto that the collection is filled with objects that were owned by people. So we have all those stories to tell as well. This is a real place of rest and respite. When our founder, H.F. DuPont, founded this place, that's what he wanted it to be. You can come here and you can go completely at your own pace. There are so many ways to tailor your experience here at Widener, and that's really what we're all about. We want people to feel like everyone who comes here has had just a unique, beautiful, welcoming, wonderful.
You're watching a clip from NBC 10's Growing Greater Philadelphia. View the entire show at NBC10.com.
Welcome to Growing Greater Philadelphia. I'm NBC 10's Tracy Davidson. From Valley Forge to Trenton, the Brandywine Valley to Newark, Delaware, our region is no stranger to revolution and the fight for independence. 2.5 centuries later, that independent spirit is still brewing, and it's something you have to see and taste for yourself.
Welcome to Workhorse Brewing Company. I'm going to show you down into our tap room, give you a little bit of an understanding of what we've got set up here.
The craft beer industry contributed $76.2 billion to the U.S. economy in 2017, providing more than 500,000 jobs. Our tri-state region accounted for $8.4 billion, with Pennsylvania leading the pack.
We are the #1 craft beer producer in the United States. That's a little-known fact that no one really pays attention to.
When Chester County-based Victory Brewing opened in 1996, brewmaster Bill Kowaleski had no idea that his company would soon help lead a beer revolution.
We were just trying to duplicate European imports, serve them fresher, closer to a local audience. What we overlooked was this huge consumer shift towards flavor and integrity in products, and we're very fortunate that that happened.
Today, there are more than 7,000 breweries nationwide.
Society as a whole is super focused on hyper-local, and it only made sense that people would want to enjoy that from the craft beer standpoint.
They see it as something that local folks are making right in their backyard and in their neighborhood, and they want to learn more about it. They want the story of those people.
Hey, Nate, can I steal you for a minute from the work you're doing? Talk to some friends? Can't stop the guy from working. No. All he does is work on beer. This is the man behind the beer.
New breweries are also revivalists, often the first to set up shop in gentrifying neighborhoods or abandoned industrial spaces.
We said this is the perfect opportunity because when we came in here, it had been vacant for a few years. It used to be a toy manufacturing company.
So, you know, you're getting these buildings with such character, and I think it adds just to their story, and it adds to kind of the allure to come see them.
And what they often find, as we did here in Downingtown, is that the local community that never gave up on those spaces is there to cheer you on to success.
There are now more than 60 breweries across the Pennsylvania suburbs, and local tourism officials have taken notice.
When you learn about those numbers, you know, we knew that we had to invest in something where we knew we could help drive that economy a little bit further.
The Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board designed an app to help drive traffic to Montgomery County breweries.
You can actually
All right, we welcome you back to Quick Stadium, Hirschman Field, here on the campus of Widener University here in Chester, Pennsylvania. We're only about 20 minutes in Center City, Philadelphia here for this one as we bring you the CFBALL 2024, the national and the American teams. The Nationals up 20-3 as we get ready to start the second half. I'm Tom Wilkins along with Joey Pagan. Downstairs, David Patterson, Howard Gable with the controls as usual. And Joey, I mean, obviously we've had a tale of, I don't know if I can say tale of two quarters, but Nationals offense has been impressive, and the Americans trying to stop it.
Yeah, National with Jeff Legree leading the way has been doing a great job. You know, a couple of miscues, but, you know, other than that, they've been doing great. So let's see what America comes up with here in the second half.
And the return kickoff taken at the 15-yard line. A lot of room to roam and a clothesline at the 38-yard line. Wow. That was a hard hit.
Wow, I said the same thing. Wow. Yeah, he just got grabbed around the neck, but no flag came up, but that's all right. You know, still got a great return on that. You know, got a ball back up to at least the 39, which is great. Good return.
I mean, it looked bad. It was just a high tackle, though.
Right. So, you know, now defensively, American has been okay, not too bad. But, you know, let's see what they come up with here. So.
All right. So for the national squad, they get the ball at their own 39-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there as Jeff Legree back at the helm. And let's see what tricks he has up his sleeve to start the second half. Legree will wait to snap at some point. There it is, a little pitch out. And cutting across, get some yardage here. Crossing into midfield, down to the 48 of the Americans. A 13-yard pickup for Jamari Gardner. And the York, Pennsylvania native comes through for a first down.
Great job. Great job by the offense there. You know, good blocking on there, good cut to get to the outside. And, you know, the American defense seems to be slowing down now for some reason. And they're not, you know, doing as well as you know, I thought they were going to be. But, you know, once again, it's early to see what adjustments were made to stop this high-powered offense right now.
1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. And again, handoff goes up the middle, about maybe 5 more to the 43-yard line. This time they went with Devon Hewitt Jr. out of Bensalem, just a little up the road from Philly.
Right, good run there. Once again, the middle of the defense, is trying their best to hold off, but this offensive line for the National is pretty good right now. So they're doing good work.
We'll also give credit to the American team who was able to make the stop the last 2 times Nationals had the ball, but now Legree calls his number. He'll get a first down. There's a wild run down to the 31-yard line.
Good run by Jeff there. He just followed his blocking and straight upfield really well. So, that's going to be hard to stop, for the defense, for the American defense to stop.
If you got the perfect offensive line, Joey, you can pretty much do anything here, and Legree finds the perfect offense to run with that.
Right.
That was a gain of 12, and now first down at the 31-yard line of the Americans, already up 20-3 and trying to add on to it.
Right. He's doing a much better job reading the defense on that RPO and calling his own number at the right time and being able to get good yards for first down there.
Remember, he does have a rushing touchdown earlier in the game. From the 31, back to pass. Gonna take a home run shot. Double coverage. Knocked down. Incomplete. Hey, you got to give the American defensive backs a lot of credit for what they have done stopping the deep ball for the most part in this game.
Yeah, it was good defense there. You had 2 defenders, and the ball still managed to hit his hands. I thought he was going to come down with it. I felt that, his positioning was well, but he just didn't high point it. I think he let the ball get a little too close to his body, which is what happened on that last one.
If you get a little bit of a flatter arc and a little bit more zip on it, boom, I think he got it.
I think he got it. I think he's got
5 hours more.
Yeah, that's right. So, but he took a big hit there after the pass too. So
that's like saying Kate.
It was like everything. It just seemed like everything was combining together there.
Right.
So, following the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 for the 31-yard line.
All right.
Let's see what Legree does. Basically, the entire offense is always in spread, just about 1,000 formations that they can run. Now, Legree wants to talk to Garner a little bit. See, okay, this is your... And again,
he wasn't ready
the
for the
snap
ball.
ends up catching Legree off guard. 2nd time in this game. But he ends up recovering it, and it forces 3rd and 12. What is up with the communication?
I don't know what that was.
Well, anyway, it ends up being 3rd and 12. Hey, Dave, what happened there?
A whole lot of craziness. Now, I think it's a matter of trying to get a little too fancy with it. They've been moving the ball. Just stay with what got you here. So he went to make some changes, turned his back. As he turned back around, his eyes didn't get around. And the ball, by the way, great snap by that center. That's an NFL caliber snap. You can't tell me that these guys are not playing full tilt. And if there's an all-star game, they're balling out.
I'm not sure what Legree said to Garner, because as soon as he came back, that's when the snap happened. I mean, he got to be set for a second. Here's a throw on 3rd down. Slipped out of the hands of Ryan Elliott out of McDonough, Georgia. He had a good catch, but he just didn't secure the football, and it falls incomplete.
Oof. Well, now it's 4th down. Not sure what they're going to call here, whether they're going to keep their offense out there or they're going to punt right now. I mean, I don't think they have a punter. So
I think they probably are going to go for it like they did in their own territory to end the first quarter.
Right. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, just simply, their defense has been playing light out. So, we'll see what they come up with here.
Well, right now the ball is at the 33, so you're looking at 4th and 12. So the 21's the line of gain. And obviously, national team taking a little extra time. They'll get in formation, stay for a couple seconds. Better hurry up because there's only 5 on the play clock. There it goes. They should get the snap off in a second, and they do. Back goes Legree, looking, gonna fire one. Passes! I think caught. Yeah, it is. At the 15-yard line for a first down. Jake Brown from the Tarnatoa Titans of Santan Valley, Arizona. Say that 3 times fast.
Say it 3 times. Say it for me.
I'm not going to do that because I would become an auctioneer after broadcasting,
Right.
But it ends up being 1st and 10 as the national team enters the red zone. They're going to give him 16 yards there.
Right. This American team, the defense has got no answer for Jeff in his passing at the moment. Receivers are finding a good
So,
soft
Tim,
spot
I'm gonna
in the soft spot, but they're not getting any pressure at all. And if they do, they're over pressuring, they're over pursuing, they're getting past him. He's stepping up. They're giving him a rushing lane to step up in the pocket. So good protection by this offensive line, doing some great work today.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Back the pass is Legree. Logan going to take a shot at the end zone, and it is.
Oh,
look, it might have been intercepted. It is intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Wow. Yeah, that's his first mistake. Let's see if the American can capitalize on this right now.
That's the 3rd straight possession. The American defense has stopped the national squad twice on downs, this one on interception.
Right.
Trying to figure out who the person was that intercepted the ball. Could probably get an interview runner.
Ball at the 20-yard line.
All right, well, anyway, coming back, coming down, let's see what the American offense can come up with here. I mean, I saw Coach Huddle with the offense down there on the sideline, talking over some adjustments. Let's see what they come up with right now.
Well, let's see if the American team can storm out and come back here after that play. They go empty gun here, 1st and 10. Chaz Russell taking this, and actually passes caught, taking it to 25, down to the 29, and the ball came out. The ball came out, and it is national ball.
You're back on the field. Sorry. I'll get you next time. Oh, it's Syracuse strong guy with it.
All
right. So why don't we go down to Dave real quick on the interception?
So
he's just going out. Sorry.
Oh, so Jeffrey McDuffie Sr. from the Syracuse Strong is the one that got the interception. I was able to get with him. However, you saw what just happened, so we're back to it.
I will get him next time, but Nationals just got the fumble recovery, and they are back in business at the 31 of the Americans. And, boy, thought you had the momentum, and one play later taken right back from you. By the way, quarterbacking for the American team, Andrew McComber is in there from Syracuse, New York. He was one who threw the pass, and it was a good one. Unfortunately, the receiver lost the ball along the way. Here on 1st and 10, here's a handoff for the National down to about the 29, about 2 yards on that play. Think that was Chuck Anuoa who was able to get a couple there, so forces 2nd and 8.
Good job by the defensive tackles there and the linebacker being able to stop that run up the middle. I mean, it's just tough. It's tough for the defense here. They had that turnover last drive, so let's see if they can come up with another turnover or at least get them on the 4 downs out here.
So 2nd and 8 from just outside the 29-yard line. Legree will await the snap. And they go handing off up the middle to about the 25, maybe the 24. Again, Anuo with a opportunity there, and he gains 5. So 3rd and 3 it's going to look at from the, looks like just outside the 24-yard line.
Good run. Good defense now. I think the national team is now trying to just keep it a little more simpler. 3rd and 3, you still going to do what you want here. You got a kicker. So, you don't have to necessarily get to the end zone. Better to just try to get the 1st down here.
All right, so 3rd and 3. Legree with the snap, a low one, but he still gets it. He's going to call his own number. He fires one, and it is knocked away incomplete. Jeffrey McDuffie Sr. was able to cut in front of the open receiver and force an incompletion. I'll tell you what, those defensive backs have played very, very good ball today. Oh, yeah, and by the way, crazy shouts to Johnny on the Spot Productions with their kind words here for today's broadcast.
Thank you, Johnny on the
Spot. Can't say I'm always on the spot, but I'm trying.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you very much, Johnny on the Spot. Appreciate that.
All right, 4th and 3 from the 24. They are going for it. Can the Americans make another stop? Legree's going to hand this one off, and I don't know. I don't know. I know where I had the catch. The way it looks, the spot at the 22, he might be a half a yard short. And
all right. Well, good stop on downs, not bad. So that now the American gets another stop on defense. This time on downs. So let's see once again. Let's see what happens because I think they had to change a quarterback. So on the American side. So let's see what happens now.
Yes, they did actually. It was Andrew McComber who was in for the first one. So, hey, Dave, you have McDuffie?
I do have Mr. McDuffie here from the Syracuse Strongmen. Interception, and then the defense came right back out there, and then got the job done again. How important was that stop rush just there?
It's so important. We're trying to get the momentum back on our side. We're down 3-20. We're trying to just help our offense do the best we can, and play our part.
Now you represent the Syracuse Strong. You guys play some stiff competition in the GDFL. How does this match up to that in terms of the guys playing today?
It's a good competition. It's the same, In that league, we play against college players, pros, so it's all similar to me.
Beautiful. And what do you guys have to do next door to get back in this one?
We got to play good defense, and we got to start moving the ball. But we got to do our part to help them out with that.
Awesome, man. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you later. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that, Dave. We had an offside foul against the Nationals after an incompletion, so we start to drive again, 1st and 5 from the 27-yard line. And this time McComber is going to hand it off right side. That's going to be a first down and more.
Right.
That is Gerald Hearns.
Great run.
Who was a factor in the first half, and he's picking up right where he left off. Gets out to 41, 14-yard pickup, and the Americans move the chains.
Right. Good job by the offensive line getting on their blocks this time and being able to open up that small hole for him to get through. We seen him run in the first half. He was running hard. Good job this time. And that's what the American need. They need to establish their run just a little bit more. They got the wind to their back and then take their shots. I don't think they need to go that far downfield, but just, keep moving the ball methodically, very slow, and do what you can.
Here's a pitch out, trying to find a hole, and does. 45, 48-yard line for Hearns. And then he lost the football, recovered by the Nationals back at the 41-yard line. Oh, what a tough break. Hearns was running hard, but unfortunately had it punched out. And now the Nationals get it back. And now the American defense is like, man, we've stopped them 4 times in a row. I guess we're going to have to make it 5.
No, they're going to have to make it 5 here. Once again, great run by the young man there, but, not securing the ball at the end and trying to get that extra yard or two, which really, really didn't need. And then the ball pops out.
And that's a 3rd turnover by the American squad, and unfortunately for them, back-to-back possessions. By the way, Dave just told me Amari Manuel had a fumble recovery, and now we have whistles.
Timeout.
I'm with him right here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, stay with him, and let's go to you, and you talk to Amari.
So I'm here. What's that? Gotcha. So number 4, he looks like he's but beautiful. Now you're getting down in this third. What do you got to do?
He's on.
Beautiful. He represents.
They were having a few issues.
The helmet. It's not right. We'll look forward to seeing you. Spend some time with us.
All right, thank you very much, Dave, and our apologies. A couple technical difficulties there, but hey, we're still trying with this new equipment here.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it was a good defensive play. Great awareness to jump on the football there. So now, the Nationals coming back out offensively. Let's see if they can, not make any mistakes here and get on the board.
All right, here's the handoff on 1st down. That is Hewitt, who's able to get to about the 44 for only a yard. By the way, that timeout was called by the American squad.
Right.
And you got to consider, too, the American, they have been playing very well on defense since, the midway part of the second quarter onward. And
right.
Legree's been trying to throw any and everything at them, and he's just been maybe a slight bit off, or the coverages have just been too good.
Coverages have been well. It's just, that they're offensively having those mishaps, right? But defensively wise, they're pretty sound. They're in the cover 1 right now. So, I'm assuming that we're going to Probably get a blitz or some kind of pressure. Yeah,
Here's
he got some
Legree
pressure.
back. He's going to throw one a little bit high, incomplete. Boy, he threw a fastball there to Jake Brown, and he just couldn't come down with it. So that goes incomplete, and it forces a 3rd and 9 with the Nationals up 20-3 and 7:15 left in the third.
It's good coverage there, but I think if he completes that pass, he may be off to the races there. But good coverage, good pass, just a little overthrown on Dave's part. On Jeff's part there.
All right, so it'll be 3rd and 9 for the National squad as they are at their own 44-yard line. Let's see how Legree goes about his business here. Again, that spread offense. Takes the snap, back the pass, or he's going to call his number, and he will. He will cross the 45. Will he turn the corner? He does, and thrown down at the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to be enough. Legree ends up getting about 9.5, and it did. So it is a first down at the 46.
Good run by him. Calling his own number at this time, exactly what the National needed. Because the receivers. One he overthrew, but 2 hit receivers' hands and they dropped it. So, maybe he's not as confident with his receivers as he was earlier in the game. So right now, taking it upon himself to run and get the first downs are big deals.
And it's also a litany of other things, the cohesiveness,
right.
Trying to get the feel of how the quarterback throws the ball, how is it going to land their hands? Is it soft and fluttery, or is it just one of the giant screwdrivers like, whoa, what happened here?
Yep.
Because the rotation is so tight on the football. All right, 1st and 10 for the 46-yard line. At the last second, I don't know what Legree was doing there, but I guess he's double checking. So, I see.
Mouthpiece.
You got to play with a mouthpiece. So Legree went back to get it. And now 1st and 10 for the 46-yard line. Here's another handoff. Oh, nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage on Austin Buckler. And he's only able to get maybe a yard out of it.
Good job by the defensive end there. Was able to just come down the line of scrimmage and make a play on the back in the backfield for, no tackle for, no loss, but no gain either. So it was a good play. And, once again, American defense is playing well right now. Whatever adjustments they came up with are good. So, let's see what they come up with now, defensively wise. What is it, 2nd and 10?
Yeah, second, and then second going to be longer, I hate to say.
All right.
So 12 men in the huddle against the national team will now make it 2nd and almost 15 back into their own territory.
All right.
All right, so it's a format 2nd and 15. Dave, go ahead. We got to get our
all right.
headsets all set.
You see that orange spindle thing?
Yeah.
All right, 2nd and 15.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Legree dropped the snap, and he's going to be taken down all the way back in the 42-yard line. All right, now we can go down to Dave.
Right at the sack to number 12.
Dave, you there?
Joseph.
Of course I'm here.
Well, what do you got for us?
Hey, how you doing? I'm here with Tav Thomas from the Wilmington Wolfpack. I want to talk to us about your All-Star experience today.
Yeah. So it's doing okay. It'd be better if you was winning, but it's a lot of game left. It's a lot of game left.
Gotcha. So who are some of the players out there that you've enjoyed working with today that you're like, hey, I didn't know much about that particular player, but he got some talent?
Number 12 is a dog. My boy Sparks. Chaz Russell. Gerald Hearns. Guys from all over. So,
nice.
Great experience.
And this is quite a facility here at Widener University. What did you think about the
everything's A1 out here. College University. Planning to get the best. So
beautiful. And what's next for you next upcoming season? What are you hoping to do?
Wilmington Wolfpack next year. Hopefully it go deeper in the playoffs.
All right.
So, yeah, man.
Well, thank you for spending some time with us today, Tab Thomas. Back to the game.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate
it. You take this? Yeah. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. 3rd down try by Legree, a little bit short and incomplete. Rodney McNell of the Carolina Predators, and out of Columbia, South Carolina, Richland County, he was able to knock it away and force the incompletion with 4:08 left in the third. And I believe for the first time in this game, unless they think otherwise, the Nationals should punt. And, yeah, they are going to punt.
This is the first punt that they
Because Goldberg's on the field.
The first punt that they're doing this afternoon here. Look at this. Here's something new. I mean, special teams are always, really special. You never know. You never know what can happen here. You make one big play, big return, turn this game around.
That's exactly right. One play can certainly turn this thing around, and I gotta give props to the American defense in red. They have done an exceptional job for a while. They've made 5 consecutive defensive stops. So now on 4th and long, probably 4th and 21, it looks like, Goldberg the punt. Returner at about the 17-yard line, but a very short punt. And they'll bounce right to him and off his helmet, but he has a dive on it. Or did he fall on it? He did not. He did not.
Look at this.
And how about that, folks? Nationals get the football back, an errant recovery.
Wow, great job. I tell you, once again, special teams, right? It's a big part of this game, but he did not have control of that ball. It just bounced. It took a wicked bounce and hit him right in the face mask and then bounced away from him and right to the defender.
He would probably be better off getting out of the way. That's 3 consecutive turnovers on the American squad. That's the only thing holding them back.
Right. I think that they keep getting in their own way here rather than, doing something well. I mean, this would have been their biggest opportunity now with still time in this third quarter, 4 minutes or so, to turn this game around. But once again, that bug just bit them again, that turnover bug.
Unfortunately, it's running rampant here. 1st and 10 from the 32 as the Nationals get the ball back and looking to take advantage of this. They send the man in motion, and they jet sweep it, taking about the 31-yard line. That's Marcus Manuel, who is able to turn it up for about a yard on the play.
Right. I mean, once again, we've been watching this American defense, whatever adjustments they made to the second half here, it's been good. It's been really good. So, I mean, they've kept the National off the board, so far pretty much this whole quarter, and to have taken the ball away from them and just offensively have been stuttering, not able to do anything.
2nd and 9 from the 31-yard line. As Legree will be back to pass, he's going to throw one, pass caught nicely at about the 22-yard line. That is Ethan Robertson out of Huntington, West Virginia, playing for the Portsmouth Lions, who was able to make the catch about a yard shy of a first down, but still a nice 8-yard pickup.
Great job by them. He was open on the slant there, and for a good pass, good catch there.
Third and about a yard, ball to 23-yard line. Legree is going to try one. Pass caught at about the 5-yard line, trying to get down with 2 people trying to tackle him. And it's Manuel who gets down to about the 3 for another 20 yards and sets up first and goal.
Good job. Great catch. Now the offense is doing a little bit of a tempo here to keep the defense up.
And it looks like a shaken up American player. Looks like Rodney McNell is the one that is shaken up on the near sideline. Hey, Dave downstairs, you think they've changed anything?
Hey, I'm here at the 10-yard line. I see some really good stuff going on here. Might finish this drive, but more importantly, I'm looking at the fashion really quickly. There's some really cool helmets, including, as you mentioned before, the Tamatoa Titans. That's a mouthful to say. I think they're out of Arizona. And
that's correct.
Yeah, and the Louisiana Swamp Gators. That's another one. I had my accent right on that one, you see? But yeah, look for a touchdown on this one.
All right, well, we'll see if your prediction comes correct, Dave. 1st and goal from the 3. And a rarity here. It looked like Legree was going to go under center, but that never happens with him. So Jeff awaits the shotgun snap. And your prognostication, Dave,
he was in. He was definitely in.
He is definitely not in, as the official said. From your angle, you may have thought so, but the ball never crossed the plane, according to the official. So back to about the 2/3 yard line.
I got to check this official on FanDuel. He definitely messed up.
And because of that, the Nationals have to use a timeout. Tell you what, why don't we break? 1:39 left in the third. Nationals lead 20-3, and they look to extend their lead when we come back in a moment.
Welcome to Spiral. With Spiral, you'll network with elite sports, entertainment, and business professionals, create your own digital resume or portfolio, post and apply for job openings, and connect with important people to expand your brand. Whether you're an athlete, a talent scout, a record label, an agent, artist, filmmaker, or own a business, Spiral is here for you. Go Spiral.
All right.
Okay, second and goal from the one after the Nationals timeout. Legree back into shotgun. They're going to say the 2-yard line, incidentally. We'll see. Whoops! Not so fast, says the official.
Out of a timeout.
Now, that will drive a coach crazy.
Out of a timeout.
Now, what does that do, Dave? I mean, you just come off a timeout and you got 12 men in the huddle. How do you react to that?
Oh, yeah, that hurts bad, man. But it just goes to show you, man, everybody wants to play and get in this game. So I guess you got to take the glass half full, so to speak, and say everybody's trying to get in the game. But we do have Canadian people here, so maybe they thought it was 12, eh?
Hey.
Goodness gracious.
All right.
All right, so now second and goal from right outside the 6. Let's see what Legree does this time. He awaits the snap. Play fake, he rushes, fires, and it's wide, incomplete. And it went actually in Dave's direction here. It's forcing a third and goal from outside the 6, and he's gesturing that he's got, I don't know about how to catch a football when being thrown. I'm not sure, but
it was a touchdown before when I said it would be.
Yeah. According to the official, it was not. So now we got, what is that, third down?
Yep, third and goal from outside the 6-yard line. You have to remember, forward progress also has something to do with it being stopped and what have you. And who knows, maybe the officials missed it. Just remember, be happy it's an all-star game and not a high school championship game with everything on the line in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Then you got some more angry parents wondering about that call. But anyway, it is third and goal right outside the 6 with 1:35 left in the third. Play clock down to 2.
Buckley to the pylon, watch.
And they let the play go.
Legree.
And screen pass, and that's a goal there.
There it is.
So Marcus Manuel Jr. gets into the end zone and extends the lead, and possibly a little makeup call because it looked like the play came after
he
the 0.
hurt himself.
Did he do that?
Well, I guess I shortened the celebration because he may have felt a little twinge. I mean, in this cold weather, I mean, you can't expect that. You got to stay hydrated and warm and everything else.
All right.
So I'm sure we'll get Dave to talk to Marcus Manuel Jr. And we'll talk about that after the extra point. So be ready on that, Dave. So, Joey, interesting call. What do you think?
I thought it was an interesting call. It looked like he was going to run the ball himself. He really did fool the defense with.
Okay, so Goldberg will try the extra point there.
Stay right there. You guys slide that way for me?
Await the snap. Remember, nobody can charge. Kick on its way. It's down the middle, and that makes it 27-3 in favor of the Nationals with 1:28 left in the third.
You see us?
Dave, you got Marcus.
I have Marcus here, and Marcus, was the stretching part of the celebration? Or
that was no celebration. I start crying. I couldn't do my celebration.
Oh, man. So you heard it here first. Now, on the has some fur going on. You got a lot going on here.
Got the Jordan 1, white Jordan 1s.
Okay.
With the fur Nike sign.
And the coolest thing is the necklace around has a baby on it.
Yeah, that's my son.
So good to produce. Be careful with the celebrations out there. It's a rough world. Back up to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. And yes, sometimes celebrations do cramp up on you, but what can I say?
Yeah.
But finally,
The celebration.
finally, the Nationals strike pay dirt after a slew of American stops, but the turnovers eventually caught back up with them, and that muffed punt end up being points off the turnover for the national team, who's out by 24 and still minute 28 left. But you know the American team's still going to be fighting away.
Of course, they're not going to give up anything at all. You know, they're going to keep fighting. You know, once again, you know, as a defender, you know, in an all-star game, it's not about you technically, but you know, you do want to be able to produce. You do want to be able to shine here. You know, but you had to figure at some point, you know, it was bend no break, and they did come up with a couple of really good stops. You know, and you know, it just, you know, at this point, you know, it was a little too much. The defense was out there for quite a bit, so you know, they, you know, got a little tired, and it was just the right call at the right time too by the offense.
All right, as we're about set for the kickoff, and Jordan is lining things up. This is the CFBALL Bowl 2024 here at Widener University with the national team up 27-3. And just to explain, we had somebody ask what game this is, but it's an alumni bowl, basically an all-star game between the national and American team players. I mean, basically free agent college players from all across the country. In fact, we got representation from the Northeast, from the South, and even the West Coast that are on both sides here. So, and you can also look for more information in the video description underneath the feed, so you can check that out for more details. Now the American team trying to turn the corner and not going to happen. It's down about the 17-yard line. Very good tackle by 15 that time.
Great coverage by the kick return team, you know, for very little gain, jumping all over him now. You know, let's see what the national defense, they've been on point all afternoon too. So started out the game with that big interception and pretty much have shut down this American offense. I mean, with the exception of a couple of good runs, you know, that they've had and, you know, one pass. But, you know, at the current moment, they have no answer. They have, you know, the American offense has no answer, you know, for this national defense here.
All right, so from the 17, 1st and 10. They're going to triple the left side here. Again, quarterback Andrew McComber, who's in there, back to pass. Going to take a deep shot, and it was a little too deep. Pass incomplete. That went for Ryan Herrera, who was streaking down the left sideline, but a little bit too deep for him.
A little too deep. I mean, the coverage was there, too. I'm not sure if he would have been able to catch that, but, you know, as it stands right now, once again, you know, now they seem like they're a little desperate to score here. You know, they want to get some points here in this third quarter with a minute 15 left, and, you know, that doesn't always work. You want to take your time still. You got plenty of time left. You know, you got to score quickly, but, you know, the defense did show some signs of coming to life. You know, just get a score here.
2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. See what McComber does. Quick pass, and it's batted in the air, incomplete. I tell you, the national defense is kind of seeing a few things there to make some adjustments on.
Yeah, they've come around once again. You know, like, you know, a couple of turnovers, which is great, and, you know, their coverage has been really good. The defensive line has been excellent with the pressure that they've been getting. You know, both on passing down and the run. You know, the penetration they've been doing has been great. So, you know, we got to, you know, the American team needs to come up with some answers here.
Well, they're going to have to do that very quickly here on 3rd and 10 from the 17-yard line. Looks like they're going to go spread here. Back to the right, McComber, who's the quarterback here, takes it. Going to go with a handoff. And crossing the 20 to about the 22-yard line.
Right. Good run.
Yeah, nice run. That was Jackson Jones on the carry as we're down to under a minute left here in the third quarter.
Give your punter a little more room to work with, you know, and see what happens here.
So now on 4th and 6, they'll bring on the punting unit. And Justin Sokoloff be the one trying to punt. He's going to be standing at about the 6-yard line. Couple more suggestions, couple more substitutions now for the American side.
Nobody wants to be on punt, it looks like right now.
Yeah, 11 is a key number in football, let's not forget. He'll stand at the 6. Returner standing around the 38, 37. And it's a good kick. Taking it about the 42, running left, crossing midfield, and getting tripped up at about the 48-yard line. The returner was Jamari Gardner, who was able to get about a 10-yard return out of it.
Right.
So the national team, with 10 seconds left here in the third, they will take over 1st and 10.
All right, well, once again, the American defense has been, they have been okay. They've been on point. They've had their good runs. They obviously stopped the National a number of times, in that third quarter. And, towards the end, they gave up the touchdown. But, it's been good football so far. Just the American team needs to just have something go their way. Another turnover or something, maybe a pick six, to get them open a little bit.
Well, let's also not forget, too, technically it's still a 3-score game, but you got to score 3 touchdowns and make all 3 of your 2-point conversions.
Right.
So the Nationals are talking things over. They're going to be starting at the American 48-yard line. They're in control of this game, but hey, as they say, stranger things happen in this game.
Right. We've seen a couple of miscues with the center quarterback where Legree hasn't been ready for the snap. So, they've been fortunate to be able to recover it, but you never know.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Let's see what Legree does. He will hand this one off. And running into a man to about the 46, maybe the 45. Couple yards there as the clock winds down and we hit 3-quarter time. So after 3 here at Widener, the Nationals ahead of the Americans by a count of 27-3. Let's grab a break, and we'll come back for the final quarter right after this.
Welcome to Spiral. With Spiral, you'll network with elite sports, entertainment, and business professionals, create your own digital resume or portfolio, post and apply for job openings, and connect with important people to expand your brand. Whether you're an athlete, a talent scout, a record label, an agent, artist, filmmaker, or own a business, Spiral is here for you. Go Spiral.
All right, we're back here for the final quarter here from Hirschman Field, Quick Stadium here at Widener University.
Chuck Jones.
All right.
Coach Jones.
So after this play, we'll have something special for you as I'll agree back to pass, fires left. It is caught 42-yard line, juke move, and out of bounds at about 32. That'll be a first down. Well, hey, DC might be 2.5 hours away, but Dave has a different type of DC to interview.
I'm here with the Chuck Jones. Hey, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm blessed. How you doing, man?
Oh, great. Now, you guys doing the job today. All-star game, but you guys put in for only 3 points on the board. What's the significance?
These guys are out here fighting for an opportunity to do something bigger than this level of football. Some guys want to go CFL, some guys want to go AF1, some guys are trying to go all the way to the league, and there's other scouts out here in the stands. And so some of these guys on my squad are on this side, they're working really, really hard. We put in the playbook just yesterday. So we've had a couple little mistakes, of course, but at the same time, they're out here executing, and that's what it takes.
Awesome. Now, you are a coach in the Arena Football League for Oregon, correct?
Yes. Oregon Lightning.
Yeah. And what are your prospects? What are your prospects for this year?
Nice. Well, you know what, man? We just hope to accomplish get into the Arena Bowl and taking that thing. We want to bring a championship to Oregon. It starts out here with the recruiting, trying to find a few good men in a game like this.
Okay, so you heard it here first, man. Legit looks at Arena 1. We're not playing games around here. All-star game, but a lot on the line for a lot of these young men. Great opportunity. And by the way, something. 2 of the scariest coaches that you will see. They can look like they can line up right now.
We're nice guys.
Look, these guys are crazy. Back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. We had a screen pass for a touchdown taken back by a holding penalty, so it's going to be 1st and 20 from the 39-yard line for the national squad. As we'll see what Legree does here. They have been pretty dominant since the second quarter of play.
Yeah, I mean it was unfortunate. It was you had a penalty there, but let's see what happens here on the offense. I mean he's been pretty well this afternoon. So
All right, so Legree will take the snap on first down. Looking. Going to take a shot downfield. He actually threw it to the wrong team. Intercepted at about the 20-yard line and making a turn and going down to the 40. That is, guess who? Jeffrey McDuffie, his second pick of the night.
good job by the defense. I mean, I'm not sure what Dave was looking at when he threw the pass. I mean, Jeff, my mistake, fellas. The brothers, I always have them in my head there. But it was, good defense. He was sitting deep, not making sure no one getting behind him, and was able to intercept the ball. Once again, this is the turnover that I was saying that they needed. It's the fourth quarter. Yes, they're down by 3 possessions, but you can only get one touchdown at a time. You got to start here. Your offense needs to get something quickly here.
All right, so tell you what, they had it, and it would have been 34-3 if there was no holding call. And go figure, one play later, there's an interception. What holding penalties can do to drives regardless of the score. So now, 1st and 10 for the 40-yard line. And now let's see if, we were going to see, and now we got a false start. All it takes is one little flinch, and that's where the defense comes charging across the line. So 5-yard penalty for a false start, and now 1st and 15. And the Americans trying to get some points here. I mean, there's still time, but it's getting a little bit slow. Here's a handoff coming around the right side and getting pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Again, Gerald Hearns, who's had a nice game, although he did have a turnover in the previous quarter.
Right. Good job. Good running there. Good job by the offensive line to block. I mean, he got back to the initial line of scrimmage here, but, I don't know if running the ball off tackle is going to get you where you need to be right now. You need to get the ball downfield. So, earlier they had a couple of short passes that worked well for them. I'm not sure if they have even gone back to those yet.
In the modified here, 2nd down, they will pitch out to Hearns. Let's see if he gets some opening there. Not much. Maybe it's a 42. So, actually, they're going to give him the 41. So, about a yard and a half there. So, 3rd and 9 now for this American squad. And it looks like they're going to go tempo here.
All right. Looks like they are going to go tempo. It's about time, with the score being what it is. You would have thought they would have did this just a little bit sooner, but
they haven't had the ball. That's the whole point.
Yep.
All right. Here on 3rd down, here's a pass, a high pop-up that is somehow caught by Tav Thomas. Boy, that was a high fly ball. That was like a mile. I looked like some of the outfielders looking for the ball to come down. And well done by Tav Thomas to grab it in the 1st down.
Yeah, good job by him. It did look like he was hanging up there for a little bit, but then it managed to drop. He came back, made a little adjustment to get back to the ball, and came down with it. So, the up-tempo at the moment is working for them.
That was a Michael Jordan pass because it had so much airtime.
Yep.
The 1st and 10 out of 42-yard line of the Nationals. And they're going to go with a handoff, trying to turn the corner again, and down to about the 40-yard line. Jackson Jones gets a couple on the play. So coming down to 12 minutes left. And even though the Americans may be down, they are not out. They're still trying their best.
Yeah.
You got to remember, it's an all-star game.
Right. So, you don't have as many practices. You're not familiar with everyone on your team as you want to be. So,
well, I haven't seen any of them. Let's keep it that way. 2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line. And once again, quarterback Andrew McComber will take it, play fake. He's going to roll left, waits, going to lob one. Let's see if he's got his man. Just a little bit off, incomplete.
He had the receiver had a step on the defender there. If that ball would have been thrown even halfway decent, it might have been 6 points there. I mean, this is what the American needs to do. Get a quick score here and get back out on defense and possibly create another turnover and get the ball quickly. But nothing's been going their way as of yet so far.
All right, so 3rd and 8 from the 40-yard line. And let's see how McComber calls this one. They're going to triple the right side here. Taking a snap. Pass is caught. Not going to be much at all. It is caught by Xavier Vinny. gets maybe a yard to the 39. This is a go-for-it situation, obviously.
Without a doubt. You got to be able to go for it. I can't see them punting here and giving the ball back to the National. Although their defense has been playing okay, but just you can't do that now. You really need to go for it. And, you got 4th and 8?
Yeah, 4th and – well, they're saying no gain on the play, so 4th and 8 it is.
Yeah, so, for the Nationals, they just want to get some penetration from the defensive line, get bet in the backfield.
All right, well, let's find out what happens here on 4th and 8. This time they extend the triple to the left side. McComber with the snap, and wow, I don't think that play was expected to work, and I'll tell you who said no.
Number 1.
Tyvon Buckley.
Yeah, Mr. Buckley again. We're calling his number again.
He had a huge first half, and here he comes through on defense in the second half.
Yep. He's been a little bit quiet in the second half, but that's it's okay. He had a big first half. He took the initiative and started this game off just right for the national team. So, now they back on offense, and Americans defense need to come up with a turnover here of some sort, and try to come up with some points on defense. That would help.
Definitely would help, but we'll see how the national team responds very quickly. 1st and 10, and here is a pass incomplete. That went in the direction of Ethan Robertson. Just couldn't come up with it, forces a 2nd and 10. So obviously the team is working very quickly.
Right. Once again, it's just right now, the clock stops on that incomplete pass. That's not a good thing for Nationals, but, they're trying. The short screens, it looks like they're going to work, but he's got to be able to complete those passes.
So I'll go down. All right, 2nd and 10. They're going to hand this one off, and this is Garner who sleeks through a hole and gets maybe to 42 for a 2-yard gain. Dave, let's go down. I believe you got an NFL scout with you.
All right. Okay. All right, Dave.
Hey, David Patterson here on the sideline with Rick Saratella, Edmonton Elks draft scout, U.S. draft scout. How you doing today,
That's
sir?
right. What's up, David? Good to
Good
see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you're doing your thing out here.
I
Love it.
appreciate that so much. What are you doing out here?
Man, we're looking for talent, always on the hunt. Edmonton Elks out here, U.S. Scout. I'm Jersey based. I'm out here on the Jersey Shore. They dragged me off the island. Come watch some football. We were out at the Grey Cup last weekend. The CFL season's over. And I'll tell you what, man, we got some players out here.
Awesome. So when it comes to the Canadian game, obviously it's much different than the NFL game or even some of the arena games. What is it that, in terms of a player, that you're looking for in terms of some metrics that people might not be aware of that apply in Canada, but not so much here in America?
Well, it's just like the NFL. Speed kills. You can't teach it. Got to have it. Fielded a little bit longer, a little bit wider. And so, we're obviously looking for speed, but then also, offensive linemen are tough to find. And we got a guy out here, number 56 on the blue, I believe, Trey Wells, Chester guy,
right.
Westchester College. And he came out in this year's draft class. I was just talking to the director of the game, Michael Corte, who runs the Tropical Bowl. And Trey just played his way into Daytona for the Tropical Bowl. Outstanding.
Awesome. So we talk about real legit opportunities, which are very hard to come by. So if I'm a young guy coming out of college and think that I might have what it takes, give me 3 things that I need to do in terms of a checklist to possibly get a look at the next level.
Yeah. So if you're one of those guys that doesn't have a pro day or a pro day is not heavily attended, get out to one of these events. Get out to a showcase camp. Get out to the FCS Bowl. Get out to the Tropical Bowl if you can. Those are invite only, but there's also free agent camps all around, CFL camps all around. You got to go where the coaches are at. You got to get in front of guys like myself so that we can go back to the war room, go back to the front office and our GMs and vouch for you and get some fresh film. The kid out here from Westchester now is out here playing against free agent dudes that have been in the league, and he's showcasing himself. He's proving himself, and now he's going to climb the ladder and get to the next platform, the next showcase, and that's how it's done.
Somebody who's been a friend of HSG has been Jeff Legree. He's gone arena camps and stuff.
Yeah.
How's he been looking today? And how would that transfer to the Canadian game?
Yeah, well, he's got a laser out here. He's connecting on a lot of passes. He's got some moxie to him too. So yeah, I mean, these are the kind of guys that could come up. But like you said, the quarterbacks, they say, takes 3 years to adjust to the different rules, the speed of the game. So he's somebody that would come up, learn the game in a year or two, and then eventually work his way to be a starter.
Awesome. So last question for you, and I'm asking for some secret sauce here.
Yeah,
so
let's
I hope
go.
it don't matter.
It's Sunday, so we make the gravy.
Nicely done. So when it comes down to it, am I better off playing in a padded game situation, or you seeing me in a gym in gym clothes and running 40-yard dashes? Because, you know, a lot of these guys run these camps where they're on the bench press or doing the cone drills and all the fancy stuff like that. What matters more to a scout? How you play in pads and something like this, or, you know, how you hit the gym?
Well, you know, it's a case-by-case basis, and I think it matters what time of the year it is, too. Like, you don't want to get hurt, right? But at the same time, everybody looks great in T-shirts and gym shorts. So if you got an opportunity to put the pads on, one-on-one reps, I mean, cream always rises to the top when you do one-on-one reps. But, you know, just be smart, be safe, and get to the draft.
First down.
Awesome. Thank you for spending some time with us today.
Appreciate it, man.
HSG Network, appreciate it. You heard it here first.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. A lot of nice insight there, especially from a scout and especially between the American and Canadian games. So thank you for that. And, of course, we had a couple first downs and a timeout sandwich in between. So a couple of, tell you what, very informative fourth quarter from an education standpoint. And some of these things I certainly would not have known.
Right.
All right, here's Legree. He's got to take a shot down the field. He's got him in, but he's way out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, good try, though. You know, he did have a guy downfield. Good protection once again from this offensive line there. Good coverage by the defense. You know, all around good football. You know, it's something that we came out here to see. You know, the American defense is still in there fighting, not trying to give up any more points. So, you know, good job on both ends of the ball.
Okay, so as we have 2nd and 10 now from the 30-yard line. Also make mention a good hard run on the part of Hewitt Jr., who got through for a first down on the previous set of downs. And now looking to try one more time to score is Legree, who's had a nice game, but let's also not forget the will of the American defense, who played really a great, good half plus and might be getting worn down a little bit now. Here's handoff. I think they heard what I said. Ends up being a 2-yard loss.
No.
On Uoha with the carry.
Legree kept the ball.
Oh, Legree kept it.
Yes, it managed to get a yard out of that. So.
I wonder if somehow some magistry or wizardry gets into football sometimes.
Yes, that's all right. It's a good ball fake is what it was. He faked the camera guy and everything, so we're good.
Faked me. So Legree keeps it for 2, and it's 3rd and 8. So I was like digging through the astroturf coming up at the end zone. He got the ball.
Yeah. So, you know, good job. Good job by the defense not being fooled, you know, and being able to come up with a stop for 1 yard there. All right.
So 3rd and 8 as the snap comes back. Legree being chased, gets a screen. But again, Anuo with a catch. But good defense by the American squad. Forces a 4th down. By the way, what we're going to do after the game is we're going to stay for the presentation of trophies, awards, what have you. And we'll have everything mic'd up for you as we're coming up on 5 minutes till time in this one. So do stay tuned here on HSG Network. And again, please subscribe to our channel, HSG Network on YouTube. I think we got, 3,100 plus, maybe more than that. So, so make sure you continue to subscribe, and we'll have plenty of stuff coming, more coverage. And, hey, 2025, I think we're going to come more alive, we'll just say.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the national team going to be talking things up on this 4th and 8 play. Ball right outside the 28-yard line.
I mean, you know, once again, it's been a great afternoon, great afternoon of football here.
And competitive, too.
Competitive, yep. The defense on the American side, you know, has been, okay, just as I mentioned that.
Not so fast.
Looks like, you know, they went off sides, a little eager to make a play now.
Hard count by Legree, probably.
Yeah.
They're already tired, so Legree's like, okay, hard count. Let me get you 5.
Yeah, so And now it makes that fourth down, they're going to go for it regardless, and it makes it a little bit more manageable than. But like as I was saying, the American defense has been fighting all afternoon and doing a great job, with the exception of a couple of turnovers there by their offense. But other than that, it's been a great afternoon here in football.
All right, on fourth down, here's Legree's going to call his own number, turn the corner, and I believe he's going to have a first down crossing into the red zone at the 20 down to about the 19. That's where they're going to spot it as we come down to 3.5 minutes left in this one.
Right. Good job. Good job once again calling his own number and being able to get that first down. Keep the chains moving, keep the clock rolling. So, this one is pretty much done here. But I think National would like to get back in the end zone again. Once again, it's an all-star game. As a receiver, you want to be able to catch that touchdown, say a guy scored, or as a running back, you want to be able to get in the end zone. So.
All right, so basically you're showing a scout what you're doing here. All right, Legree going to be back to pass. Has a shot. He has a man, and there is one. Welcome to the end zone, and that one is Brady Fiola from Blackstone, Massachusetts, the University of New England. Able to make the grab as he backpedals a 19-yard touchdown grab and more points for the national team.
Great job by Legree on that, and the receiver making the adjustment to turn around and catch the ball. So once again, like I said, I knew they wanted to get back on the board, which was important, that they got on. Once again, and, we like you saw, we had that interview with the scout on the sideline. Everyone wants that opportunity to be able to get in and score and showcase what they got. That's what this game is about.
You're absolutely correct. And it looks like they will line up for the extra point here. The snap. Kick on its way and down to shoot. And it makes it 34-3. So very, very impressive day for the Nationals all-star unit.
Right. Well, there was a good kick, there. So,
And Fiola catches the touchdown, and Francesca is able to make the remark there. So I'm sure she is very happy with that, meant to say the least.
Yes.
And thank you, of course, for your support tuning in HSG Network here on YouTube as well.
Yep. We just, once again, we've been watching a great afternoon of football. The All-Star game, has been really good. This has been a good event out here today, which even though it's a blowout with the National League coming up really big here. But it's still been good football. A lot of good talent on that American defense. We saw some really good plays there. So, once again, it's a showcase. You're out here to show your talents. So defensively wise, a few guys out there did show what they have. So hopefully, they impressed enough of these scouts to get a look or some kind of conversation at least as to what they can move on to hopefully in the next level.
And that's all you can do at this point in time. I mean, obviously, I'm sure a few people have impressed those in attendance, and that is definitely for sure. Had nice turnout here, even though it's a bit cold and windy. Hey, it is football. It's supposed to be cold and windy.
All right.
We also had the 2-minute warning following the extra point. So the Americans will have one more shot with the ball, see if they get some points here. But like I said, it's not about the final score. It's about showing what you can do. And I'll tell you what,
right?
Some plenty of national offensive players and also American defensive players who have definitely
have stood out.
Shining a lot of good lights here late this morning and early this afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, we have two really good kickers out here, but only one has been able to get the work in that he really wanted as far as possibly impressing someone, but still. All right. Good kickoff.
Taking it about the 3-yard line. And decided to go up the middle. Which way do we go? And down to about the 20. And that's one of those he who hesitates is lost returns.
Good coverage by the kickoff team there too. The national kickoff coverage has been really good, not allowing too good field position for the Americans. So, they're starting back in there, in the 20-yard line. It looks like on that 21. So.
So they'll get a couple of plays off before time runs out here.
Yeah,
So it is going to be 1st and 10. Ball spot at the 21-yard line. And once again, at quarterback, Andrew McComber out of Syracuse, New York, playing for Team America. They've mostly been a 4-receiver triple on one side or the other type of set. Gonna throw, and just a little bit off, incomplete. He had a man in stride, but it didn't quite work out. It's incomplete.
All right.
So it'll be 2nd down.
Once again, it's nice to see that he's still taking their shots downfield. Moving trying to get the ball up to the end zone really quick, but falling short. He just overthrew him a little bit there. Good coverage by the defense too.
All right, and I tell you what, this has been a great atmosphere today. I mean, pretty much perfect pretty much on every level for the most part.
Yep.
All right, now they're going to go empty gun heavy on the right, and McComber had to juggle the snap, but he's going to call his own number and say, okay, I'm going to run this. Turns the corner, gets to about the 30, and that's about it. He's a yard shy of a 1st down, but he's able to get 9 yards on the play, and it looks like the clock is going to run out. I don't know if they're going to get a playoff before this one ends. We'll see. And again, they go empty gun, and they do get it off. Unfortunately, the pass sails and incomplete. So that is the game, and the National All-Stars are the winners of the CFBALL Alumni Game. A count of 34-3 over the Americans. Joey, your thoughts on this one?
Great job by both teams. Once again, being an all-star game, you wasn't going to see too much of, offense. On the American side, it really showed that, they had to get a little more work in, but they weren't able to. With the National, young man like Jeff Legree there, who's very well known and who's smart. He's been around for a while. He ran that offense really well, so I'm not surprised that if he doesn't win an MVP here today.
Well, we'll see how the awards go. Obviously, we see the handshakes between all the football players. I mean, that this really was a great atmosphere for everyone to play the game. And the most important thing, I believe, nobody got hurt.
Exactly. Great job by everyone not getting hurt. And congrats to the organizers here that were able to put on a great show for everyone today here at this stadium, which is very nice, by the way. I tell you, great atmosphere out here. Awesome job. So kudos to them, and glad that everything went well for these young men out here. And hopefully there are a few out here that are going to be moving on to the next level. Tom, you never know.
That's very true. And I mean, who knows with these kids? I mean, you only get to play this game once, and just drive down, do the best you can, whatever you got, and make sure you stay as healthy as possible.
Right.
That's the most important thing. In my job, I even see some current and former football players, and I tell them at the very end, stay healthy.
Exactly.
So much goes on in today's game that you're not guaranteed another game. So you just got to go for it.
Exactly. So, coming out here and participating in this type of game, this honor to be, asked to come out and play has been great. So it's a good thing.
All right, so we're looking down to bottom of your screen. We're going to have the some awards presentation here at the midfield stripe. We got Dave downstairs, going to probably get some mic. I don't know if we're going to get another interview or two, but we'll tell you who, of course, the main stars of the game are. Are we ready now for that? And I guess we're ready for that. So, Dave, if you're ready, let's go to you.
It is a massive humanity down here. All-star game. We got some awards coming out here. We're doing a presentation. Great game by both.
Fellas, on the hop.
No injuries today, which is
on the hop.
a blessed day.
Other side, Riverside.
National team got the W today, but everybody here had an opportunity to shine and perform. So let's head over to the head man. So,
hey, come on, hey, Butch, on the hop, man.
For those that don't know you, just introduce yourself real quick. So
yes, I'm Mike Corte. I'm the organizer.
Can you hear me?
Of the National College Football Bowl.
Let me switch it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. You good?
Yeah. I'm Mike Corte, organizer of the National College Football Bowl.
We have a lot of players from college seniors here. We're live, fellas. College seniors here. College alumni here. Pro free agents here. Competing. We have scouts in the CFL arena here this weekend. We're just glad to do this and have the opportunity to play the sport we all love, and our folks to support us. Appreciate that, and we appreciate the coaching staff and all the great people, HSG Network, and all the folks that came together to put this together, right? And we've got some awards, all right? Hey, I've been doing this a long time. This is my 15th year of All-Star games, and I don't look at the score, I look at the effort of what guys do, right? But we remiss for the hell of an effort the guys did, from the coaches, staff, and the players. Emmanuel, Coach, we're gonna give you an MVP award for your effort, Coach Marcus Emmanuel, Director of Player Personnel of the Orlando Predators. Coach, let's get a picture real quick. You want to? Okay, thank you. You want to say something, Coach?
Let me say this is a blessing for me to be here. Definitely, I've seen quite a few guys that I've already talked to and said I'm, definitely want to connect with and see if we can create an opportunity for you. And just as much as it's an opportunity for you guys to do something you love, it's an opportunity for me to continue doing what I love. So I appreciate everybody on both sides, all your efforts. Even in winning, I can't take credit for this by myself. I got to thank the coaches, Coach Jones and Coach Reagan as well, for helping out. So it's not just about me; it's about all of us. All right, appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Coach. Then we're going to give out, all right, some team MVP awards. Red team offensive MVP, number 35, said Azale. All right, that's you. Is that your name? Wait, Jackson Jones. Jackson Jones. The ref was wrong. Number 35, Jackson Jones. That was my bad. Hey, congratulations. All right. Red defensive team MVP. Been playing in this bowl game for a long time. Virginia's own number 10, Ken Wells. Yeah, baby. Congratulations. He's from Brooklyn originally. Crown Heights, baby.
Player from Virginia by way of New York, Brooklyn, New York.
We've got a blue team. A lot of guys showed out, but our coaches select these MVPs for guys that put in that work. Blue team offensive MVP, number 16, Marcus Manuel Jr.
Marcus Manuel Jr. I think he had 2. Look at this.
Mr. Florida. Mr. Florida.
Has a Chucky doll with him to the podium. That's amazing. Yeah. This is awesome.
All right.
I'm speechless. That man played.
Yeah. Blue team defensive MVP, number 90, Desmond Barnes.
Yeah, number 90. Gold helmet, was in the backfield all day. A lot of tackles for losses. Absolutely put in the work today. Great job by that young man.
All right.
Yeah, he was in the backfield more than the running backs were. Oh, sorry.
Overall, National College Football Bowl lineman MVP goes to blue, number 56, Trey Wells.
Oh, Trey Wells. Oh, yeah. Trey Wells. Oh, my goodness. Way to be, baby. Yeah, I believe he was both sides of the ball. I think he ran over somebody. Woof. Yeah. That was the 18-wheeler right there.
Way to be. Way to
Thank
be.
you. He was trucking. Yeah.
And we've got the National 2024 game overall MVP. Blue, number 17, Jeff Legree.
Jeff Legree. Touchdown passes, doing with his legs. Had a touchdown with his feet.
Congratulations.
He had a second touchdown with his feet that I called, but the referee didn't want to, do the right thing.
All
He
right.
messed up my
Thank you.
my parlay with
Right.
that one. Well done.
And even though, Red, you guys took the L, I know you guys still put a lot of work this weekend. We want to give it up to Coach Donald Gould and his staff. Thank you, Coach. All right, fellas. Hey, love doing this. We can do this every year. A lot of guys got looked. A lot of guys got talked to. A lot of guys going to be getting calls. All right? We've got 5 seniors in this game, and we'll be in touch with you shortly that are going to play, that be eligible to play in the Tropical Bowl that we put on, the FBS Tropical Bowl in January in Orlando. Okay? You seniors that are here, I'm not going to read off your names, but we'll be in touch. Thank you for coming out and showing out and playing with these alumni and these vets. And you can see how they love the sport and how they play the game. And we're going to keep it going for you guys, all right? All right? For all the rest of you guys, we love having you. We're going to keep doing it. For you guys that don't know, we travel with an international team. If you don't have a passport, get one. We've been to Colombia. We've been to Costa Rica. We've been to Canada. We've been to Mexico, Costa Rica. We played in SoFi Stadium twice. We played in Cowboy Stadium twice.
Wow.
So let's rock with us, all right?
For the rest of it.
Let's go. Everybody all together. What you got? You want to break us down? Let's go.
All right.
And we got to hold on. And we got to certified to hear from one of our former players that played in this game, all right? Evan Young, man.
So you heard it here first. David Patterson, HSG Network. Awesome opportunity for some of these guys and these clientele for some looks, represent Team America and a bunch of awesome events. Great
Clap it
job
up,
by
fellas.
everybody.
Clap it up,
We
man.
had a lot
Good
of fun
time.
here today. Thanks for having me. I'm going to send it back up to the booth with Tom.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. And stellar job as always, and stellar job by all the participants here today as we wrap things up here from Quick Stadium here at Hirschman Field. Your final again, the national team 34, the Americans 3. For Dave Patterson, Howard Gaber, Joey Pagan, this is Tom Wilkins signing off for now here on HSG Network. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your